All right. We are live. We are live. How's everybody doing? Good to see you, MW. Yeah, my wife's photo. Yeah, it was a program I used, that cartoon where the eye looks slanted. Yeah, that's what that is. Welcome, everybody, to this late night live. Um, I was going to come on earlier, but I was scrolling through YouTube and Cerebral was live, and it was a great show. And so I went and watched, came on a little bit on the panel towards the end, and had a good time. It was an excellent show. Uh, it was educational. Learned a lot. Um, but anyway, it's good to see everybody. Um, if you guys noticed the photo I sent, I fractured my foot. Okay, I think I did it yesterday. Came home from work, rolled my ankle, and you know, when I got off work, it wasn't bad, but later that night, I was in crazy pain, and I couldn't even stand on my foot this morning. It was just really painful and a bit swollen. Went to the doctor, and I have a fracture in my foot, and it's a little bone that's by your arch. And the crazy thing is I fractured that same bone on my other foot a couple of years ago. So I guess I'm trying to match the breaks in my body. But yeah, so well, that's life. Things happen. And I got a day off because of it. Not the way I want to, but because it does hurt. And I'll show you guys. I got the cast on, and this is it. So I can't move my foot. Got this big old crazy boot to keep it in place. And yeah, but that's the kind of week I've been having. Just crazy stuff. Um, so do you have to stay? Yeah, I can. Well, I can be on it a little bit, because what it is it's a small fracture, but they want me to stay off it as much as possible. So they gave me a walking boot and some crutches. So um, I can get around, but it does hurt. I walk super slow. Um, I just couldn't get on my feet today. And my job is physical, so I have to do physical labor. So I can't, I'll be doing light duty for a little bit till this heals. So, but yeah. Yeah, it was a sprain, and then I had a little fracture too. Um, and my feet are jacked up. I've my ligaments are so loose that usually when I roll my ankle, I hit the ground because it just goes. Um, just super flexible. Like my foot can go all the way sideways, and yeah, it's. I'm probably going to have. Well, eventually, I'm going to have surgery on those ligaments because there are tears, and it's like a rubber band, and it just keeps pulling, and through the years, you get little tears, and then I have some that broken bone in my foot, and I've had plenty of broken bones and crazy stuff. The army's kind of broken me down, and well, this job's doing it now. So, but anyway, enough about me and my injury report. But I wanted to talk about something tonight. Okay, and if you look at the title, it says "Stand Up for My Interracial Marriage and Black Women," right? And the reason I came up with this is, well, I got to stand up for my wife every day and my marriage, and and I say positive things about black women, and you know, um, so. But anyway, the reason I'm doing this topic is on my last show I did, and I'm sorry I don't have no slides or a video today, but on the last live that I did, um, I was talking about the types of black women, white men like, or other races of men, and for me, it's traditional and professional. Um, and I talked about that, and well, I get some comments. Most of them are loving, nice comments. But sometimes I get the haters too, and I screenshot some of these comments, and I just want to show you guys and just talk about it. Um, it's not bothering me or anything, but I just want to show you what people say and what people think, and there are haters out there, right? You know, some people just don't like interracial relationships, and well, that's their problem. But anyway, let me get my phone here. And when I was going through the comments, and I read through the comments, and like I said, most of them are positive, but I do have some, you know, s- some negative ones too. White men, yes. Oh, you had pins and screws, but broke my ankle. Yeah, well, my feet are so messed up. I'm gonna have to have surgery sooner or later. Um, but anyway, here's one comment, and this one was a short one, and I'll put it here. I'll make this person famous for a little bit, and LWDHMRCY. I don't know, but he said here. I assume it's he. Maybe it's a she. I don't know. It says your opinion about black women is irrelevant. Go get a real job. Okay. Well, I do have a real job, and I don't. I like this job better, but this don't pay the bills. So I'm glad this person, thinks this is my job. So they must think I do a pretty good job. But they say your opinion about black women is irrelevant. Go get a real job. You see that? See that? I saved that comment. I mean, that's not real hateful, I guess. They're saying my opinion about black women's irrelevant. Okay. Um, my phone shuts off. But yeah. And that's one of the trolls of the week. And but thanks for the comment. That was really nice. Actually, that was not so bad. I usually get more hateful comments than that. But that they feel my opinion on black women is irrelevant. But I don't know. Some women like my opinion on black women. They embrace it. And there's another one. This guy, I'm going to assume it's a man, and his name's Moreno Mourinho. So Moreno, if you're watching, I'm going to put your comment up here, and we're going to embrace it. And this is what he said. He says, leave our women alone. We black men will love our women until eternity. Okay. Well, I'm sure there's black men that love black women. But if you're looking at the stats when it comes to marriage, 70% of black women aren't married. Black men date and marry twice as much as black women. So, yeah, some do, but some love other women to eternity. Okay. But, you love who you love, right? And then he says, we don't need oppressors and colonizers developing relationships with our women. Okay. I haven't oppressed anybody, and I'm not a colonizer. Um, the only thing that's been oppressed is my sadness when I'm around black women. Actually, it makes me happy. And the only thing that's been colonized is my heart for black women. So I guess he's kind of got that a bit right. Um, so I guess he's using sins of the past to shame me so I don't have nothing to do with black women. Well, I've been married 28 years to a black woman, so you're too late on that one. And so he don't feel we should have relationships with our women. So he believes that women that look like him belongs to him. Newsflash: the only woman that belongs to you, Moreno, is your wife if you have one. That's the only one you could say. Because women look like you are the same racial group, they don't belong to you unless that's your wife. You know, husband and wives belong to each other, they're married. Okay, so I'm not a colonizer, but black women have colonized my heart. They own it, it's theirs. And I haven't oppressed nobody. I mean, but anyway, it's a shaming tactic, right? And I would say to white men, if you interracially date with black women, you're going to get this thrown in your face many, many times over. They're going to hit you with racism, slavery, Jim Crow, all the sins of the past, right? And don't, don't go into the rabbit hole, okay? We know there's evil that's been done, okay? We can't change that. That's in the past. The best thing you could do is just be your best self and say, yeah, that was shameful and it was horrible and it was evil. But, I'm living my best life, trying to be the best I can be, okay? And that'd be the way to handle it. Because what they do is they hit you with that and then they tap into your, make you feel guilty, tap into your white guilt. And white guilt is a real thing. Us white people have it. I'm going to be honest. Okay. I try to look at it like, hey, I had nothing to do with that. I'm just trying to do right as a human being. But that's a sensitive topic and it knocks you off what you're trying to do. It puts you in defense mode because nobody wants to be seen as a racist. I don't. And a lot of white people will back down when they throw that at you. You don't have to back down. You can stand up for yourself. You're not a racist. You didn't do those evil things. And just say, yeah, I was sad. He was evil. I agree with you. But I wasn't around then. That wasn't me. But you're going to be faced with this. And a lot of people will not date out interracially. There's a lot of white men that hold back because they don't want to be hit with that racial thing, with because it's uncomfortable. We don't like to talk about it. I don't. I darn sure don't. So they know what they're doing when they throw that at you. And here's the thing: a man that throws that at you ain't got nothing to stand up to you with. When they go into sins of the past, they don't have nothing to offer. This man ain't competing in 2022. He's trying to shame a group of men and make black women feel guilty for people opening up their options. That's what they're trying to do. And that way, this weak dude can win by default. Because he believes because he's black that black women are his women. Okay? And then he says here, colonizers and oppressors don't need to be developing race relationships with our women. We don't care what you like. Yes, sir, you do care what I like because you watch me. You took the energy to make a comment. If you didn't care, you wouldn't even watch. So he's a fan. He wants to be like me. And then he says, stick to your own kind. What's my own kind? I'm going to tell you what my own kind is, right? My own kind is people that I love that love me. And some of them look like me and some of them do not. And that's the way it is. Those are my kind. People that love and support me and I love and support them. That's my kind, sir. So I am sticking to my kind. My black wife is my kind. She's a loving wife and I love her and we got an awesome marriage. So yeah, I am sticking to my own kind. But I'll put it out there. so you guys could see it. And that's the comment. And if you see that guy, he's kind of insecure. He don't have much to do but come on my channel and try to shame me with racism and sins of the past. So trying to get me out of the competition. Well, Mr. Moreno, I'm out of the competition because I'm married. But there are white men like me that love black women. And there are more successful white men than me, better looking, all that good stuff. So you got to compete with that. So if you're insecure of a middle-aged white man and his middle-aged black wife, there's something more going on here. But I take stuff like that. I get it all the time. I get comments. I used to just delete them, but I'm saving them now and I'm showing them to you guys, what people think, what they're saying. And he has every right to say that. It's freedom of speech, But I have the right to show it because he put it on my channel. And I have a right to delete it. So what I do is I delete comments like that and I'll screenshot it and show you guys. But you guys probably already know that. There's trolls out there. But anyway, it is what it is. But you got to stand up for yourself. You got to stand up for who you're with. In interracial relationships, you got to stand up for each other. You just do. There's going to be people that do not like it. Black and white people that don't. Being honest, most people don't give me no problem with it. Okay. For the most part, have I dealt with racist situations? Yeah. But thank God it's not the norm. It's one of those once in a blue moon things. It has been for me. Moreno, get lost. Yeah. But that's the insecurity you're seeing. And why? Here's the deal. Why would he be insecure at that? You got to ask yourself. If he's worried about white men getting black women, well, black women date and marry black men more than any other group of men. So they're dating them more than I am. Guess what? And then they date and marry out twice as much. So they're getting more Becky's than us white guys are getting Keishas, you might say. And there's such an imbalance. Why would he be so insecure? And on this planet, there's more men than women, is there not? So, I don't know. It just blows my mind. But, you're going to deal with jealousy. Most of the time, people are okay with your interracial marriage. They have been with me. But you do run into some jealous people along the way that think the woman you're with belongs to them because they're the same skin tone. No, they're not. The only one that belongs to you is that accepts your hand in marriage. Point blank. But you're going to be faced with that. And don't let that knock you down. Because like I said, he could call me a oppressor and colonizer. But I was born in 1969. That stuff was long gone. Do I think what happened in the past was bad and evil? Well, of course. It was shameful. It was evil. And it's embarrassing. But you don't need to feel guilty unless you participated in it. It is what it is. But they will use that. That's a tool these haters use because it puts you in guilt mode and defense mode. And then it makes the women think, oh, wow, yeah, they did do that to us in the past. That's what they want. Because they want losers like this want black women to stay in one box because they don't want to compete with other men. They want to go out and see, you'll never see comments like this going towards white women that date black men. You'll never see it. Well, you might see it, there might be some trolls that do it, but not as much as it does white men and black women. And that's the group I see that's most attacked. Of course, black people and white people, it's more of a issue with people than other ethnicities opening up their options. I mean, yeah, they'll have problems too, but not like black and white people. It's just something, especially black women, white men. Um, we go through it, right? And why someone would get jealous, it's insecurity, it's jealousy. It's, there's something missing. Because a confident man that's going to compete, he's not going to use racism and sins of the past. He's going to use what he's got. If a man thinks he's better looking than you, he's going to throw it in your face. If he thinks he makes more money than you, more successful, he's going to use that. If he thinks he's got something over you that makes him more valuable, he's going to use that. When it comes to racism and oppressors and colonizers and all that stuff, they have nothing else to use. And that's what they're going to use to shame you and get you away from dating out. And honestly, people that send this, I don't think it's so much that they, I would always think that, they believe in segregation and racial groups staying with each other. I don't believe that at all. I think it's because they don't like seeing the white man with the black woman. I think that's it in a nutshell. Because you never see the attacks going so hard with black men, white women, do you? You don't. I'm sure they get them, but not like we do. And in fact, I've never had an urge to shame Becky and Tyrone for getting together. That's their business. That's their life. If they want to, that's their right. It's none of my business what a man and woman do. The relationship they have. So why is these jokers coming on my channel saying this crap, disrespecting me with their stupid comments? Because I'm a white man that loves black women and I have a black wife and some black women show me a little love. You can't handle that? This joker was probably told his whole life how great he is. I'm serious. Like, it just shows something's missing. It's some insecurity. And he's probably not married, probably don't have a girlfriend right now. Probably looking for some woman to take care of him. And, I'm not saying that's what's happening, but a lot of guys that come with that, usually there's stuff like that going on. But you got to stand up for that. And don't let this Moreno. I don't care what he thinks. He can watch it mad. Moreno could kiss my butt. This is my life. And yes, I'm going to get with black women. Newsflash, I married one. And you know what? That's what I like. And yeah, it's not your women, weirdo. The woman that's yours is your wife. Focus on that. And look at the percentages. Because you know what? Truth be told, marriages with white men, black women and white men are more successful right now than us getting with our own race. I'm just saying. And I'm not saying one man's better than the other because he's not. But here's what sets us apart. It's the decisions we make. It's the character we have. You make good decisions, you're going to do better than people that make bad decisions. It just is what it is. It's a fact. I get with the woman I love. I marry her. We have children. We have a marriage. We have a family. We have stability. We're going to do better than the guy that sleeps with a woman, gets her pregnant, and now has babies' mamas running around. We're going to do a lot better. I'm going to run circles around this Moreno guy. He'll say it's racism or white supremacy, but no, it's because I'm making better decisions than you. Straight up. And you can get mad and jealous all you want. And you can go to the past all you want. But I'm living in 2022. Where are you living? You need to compete. And you know what? Those of us white men that love black women, we're going to compete. And we're coming. We're coming with resources. We're coming with love. We're coming with stability. And women see that. Now, are all white men doing that? No. But why would you hate a man that loves a woman in your community that's taking care of her? Why would you hate me because I'm married to a black woman and I'm providing for her? I've given my wife my heart, my love, my resources, my everything because I love her. And I made a promise to her and I made a promise to God. And you know what? I'm going to do better than you because I did that. Not because I'm better. I'm not better than you. No. But I do make better choices. And that's the key. And ladies, I say go for the best option. Now, it can be any color, right? What matters is the character. What choices are they making? What decisions are they making in life? Do they really love you? Do they even know what love is? Some people think it's going to the bedroom and dating. No, it goes much deeper than that. You love somebody. If you're a man and you love a woman and you love her the way you should be providing everything for her. You should be sacrificing for her. And you need to love her like Christ loved the church. That means you would lay down your life for her in a New York minute. You would give up your life so she can survive, so she can move forward. And you would do it willingly. That's true love. And true love is providing for her, not looking at what she's bringing to the marriage, what she's bringing to the table, sort of say. Yeah, she needs to come with something. She needs to come with her love, her loyalty. Yes. She's got to love you, be loyal, and just be her beautiful self. That's all she needs to do. As a man, you got to come, yeah, with your love and loyalty too, but you got to come with the resources. You got to come with the hard work. You got to come with integrity. And you got to put her above everybody. She is more important than you. And if she's not, you need to get away from her and go somewhere by yourself because you don't deserve to have her. And I'm telling you, women in your community, how you treat women in your community will have an impact on you. You will be held accountable. And that's why a lot of societies don't do so well because they don't treat their women right. They're not respecting their women. They're not loving their women like they should. And when I say their women, the women in their community. Now, in our nation, I wish there would be more marriages. I think that would be a beautiful thing. We would be better off. If we loved each other like we're supposed to, our community would be better. Our towns would be better. Our cities would be better. The whole nation would be better. And that's the mindset we need to have because, and not a racial segregated mindset. We got to get out of that. The past is dead. It's gone. Yeah, horrible things happen. I get it. And we can't forget it because we don't want to repeat the sins of the past, right? Yeah, we got to know about it. We can't hide it, but then again, we don't need to be living in it in today. We need to move forward. We need to love and embrace each other. And guess what? If the women in your community decide to marry and date a man that don't look like you, so what? Love her, respect her, and pray for her. Because, and here's the thing, and I think it's so crazy and so hypocritical when men will date and marry out and get mad at women that do it. All you are is a hypocrite at that time. You are. It is what it is. And I've heard people on panels saying that, oh well, when black women can't date and marry out, but when black men do it, they're getting back at the white man. So it's like they're being courageous, I guess, getting with white women in bed. I mean, You're not hurting nobody. You're hurting the woman you're with, then you're hurting yourself. You're just setting yourself up to hit the wall, is all you're doing. You don't have no power over nobody by having sexual relationships with women of a different race. You're not getting at that man. It it don't matter how many white women black men sleep with. It's not affecting my life at all. The only way it would is if it's someone in my family. And other than that, really, and if they're married and he's in love with her, I would say, okay, welcome to the family. I'm okay with that. But if you're using her for a fetish or some kind of sick fantasy, like you're overpowering a man by being with a woman, go ahead. But you're just hurting the woman you're with, and you're hurting yourself. And you know what? In society, we need to get away from being pimps and players. And how about being husbands and fathers? Wouldn't your community be better? Maybe you wouldn't have as much fun because you got a high body count of women, but you'll suffer in the end. Your children will suffer. Your community will suffer. And you know what? It's not going to be pretty. When you die alone because you were a player and a pimp and all that stuff, and your kids are upset with you, they don't want nothing to do with you. The women that you procreated with don't want nothing to do with you because you made their lives hard because they had to take care of your kids because you couldn't. And I'm not pointing to one racial group for that because it's going across the board. Some groups do it more than others. So I want to make that clear because I know people are saying, oh, you're saying no. This is in general. But, we need to embrace marriage. Okay, so what? It's interracial. Okay, do they love each other? Well, nothing wrong with it. The important thing is we do it the way we're supposed to. Do it God's way. Take in the woman that you love, marry her, protect her, provide for her and the children, and you'll be blessed. There's been studies where married people are usually happier. They're usually healthier. They're usually, except me, I'm getting fat and I eat unhealthy because my wife cooks so good, but I'm happy though. But seriously. And here's the thing, that guy talks about oppressors. How about men that don't marry women in their community, that use them for a hookup? Isn't that oppression? Isn't it oppression to get with a woman and lie to her and make her think that you love her and then leave her abandoned with children? Isn't that oppression? I think that's true oppression right there. And then you're colonizing because you're telling the women in your community they can't date and marry out. And then you're going to get with other groups of women. I mean, that's kind of like a colonization there. I don't know. I'm just saying that I would say that's oppression and colonization of 2022. But seriously, guys, if you're going to date and marry out, be ready for this to hit you in the face. They will slap this in your face every day of your freaking life. They've done it to me. And it's not a pleasant thing because you're not a racist. You don't want to look like you're one. And then you're defensive and then you want to be respectful. So they'll be coming at you, throwing this, telling you're like this. And you're being courteous and kind and trying to explain yourself. No, don't do that. Just say, yeah, evil things happen. Sorry. I don't agree with it. And wrong is wrong. You're right. But what's that got to do with me and you today competing for a woman we're attracted to? What's that got to do with me marrying a black woman today? Seriously. I'm still going to do it. I'm going to do what I want to do. You're not going to take that away from me. You're not going to shame me out of who I love. You're just not going to do it. In fact, I'll just look at you and say, okay, whatever. What else you got? What do you got to compete? What do you got to offer? What do you got to offer these women you say that black men love? Till eternity. I don't think this dude loves black women. He might love them, but he don't have no access to them. He's a loser. You can tell. He's coming on my channel making comments. And if you don't care what my opinion is and what I think about black women's irrelevant, and you don't care how I feel about black, why are you coming watching me? Why are you even wasting your time if you don't care? It's a lie. They do care. Because this dude don't feel like he can compete. Because if he's a confident guy, he ain't even going to know I exist. Seriously. And if he's got more to offer, he would show he's got more to offer. And I'm telling you, men that are going to compete, that are true competitors, they're coming with what they have to offer. And it can range from their education, it can range from success, their jobs they have, it could come from them just being attractive dudes, right? They're going to show that. If that's what they got going for them, they're going to show that. But when they resort to this stuff, colonizations and oppressors, okay, what are you saying? But how does that change things? You can put me in a guilt trip, but what's that do? What's it fix? But see, I don't think he's trying to fix that at all. I think it's a guilt trip. I think it's a tactic to keep black women away from white men and other races of men, and these certain males to be able to go where they want to. Just what these people send me, I can almost tell what kind of state of mind they're in. And you can almost tell that they're not having real good success in their life. They're not. And what bothers this guy is that I'm showing love for black women, which I'm not allowed to do because we're different races. And then I have a successful marriage he'll never obtain. So then he's jealous of that. And then what really bothers him is there's some black women that show me love, that you know, that give back the love I give them, and they don't like that at all. That drives them nuts. They're already insecure and jealous. I'm serious. So they got to come on my channel and hate. Really? Okay. The stuff you guys, the stuff you trolls are sending me, I've heard all my life. I've been married since 1994 to my black wife. You don't think people have thrown this in my face my whole life? I get crap like that from black people and white people. I have. To be honest, usually black people are more understanding, more accepting of an interracial relationships. In my experience, it's been that way. But there are some black people that don't like it either, and they'll show you. But this dude, he's just weak. You can tell. He can't compete. It's a weak tactic. What are you going to get? And I mean, and if he really cared about that, wouldn't he try? And if he thought I was racist like that, wouldn't he try to change my heart and mind and make me right? Wouldn't that make a better world than just shaming me of some ancestral sin I had nothing to do with and I couldn't control or change anyway? I'm just saying. And you're supposed to forgive, are you not? That's what Christianity says. So I would ask Moreno, you say you call us Oppressors and colonizers. Well, I know you don't forget the ones that actually did it, but how about us? Can you forgive those of us that haven't done it? As long as we show you love and respect? No, he can't, though. He's weak minded. He's not blessed like that. Can't do it. He more than likely needs a woman more than he wants one. Probably. Yeah. Because he's probably been in relationships where there was no substance, relationships where it was built on looks and lust. And when you build a relationship on that, it's going to crumble. It will not last. And he's probably not the most attractive dude either. He's probably going up in age and things ain't going right. And he sees my channel and he's like caught in his feelings. You know, he can't take it. So he feels better typing a hateful comment. Me, thank you, sir. Thanks, because I can use this. This is something to talk about. So you're kind of helping out my channel, and I appreciate that. Because, with YouTube, we got to constantly come up with things. When you're a creator, you got to come up with what you're going to say, what topic you're going to cover. Sometimes it gets hard, but Moreno came through for me, in his mind, deep down inside, he was like, you know what? You're a white guy with a black woman, and I'm jealous, but I really look up to you and want to be like you. So I might say something hateful to help out your show. And, I appreciate that. Thanks. And the ones that said they don't care what I think about black women or that it's irrelevant. Well, if it's so irrelevant, why are you watching? Why are you commenting about it? It's very irrelevant. It's very relevant. It's very important. You stop by to watch and you'll watch again. And you know what? I'll take the views you give me. And the dislikes, that's hey, I'll take those too. Wow. Minding my business. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for the love. Well, thank you for the love. That was awesome. That was very sweet and nice. But the thing of it is we're human beings. We all want to be loved. We all want to be happy. We want things in life, and a lot of times we get so focused on material things that we're not really living our best life. And we look at families are smaller, right? As we make more money, we're more less focused on families. My father told me the other day, he says, I was so out to make money, that, and there's nothing wrong with that I got so caught up in it that if I got away from the family, thinking about the family, and that's why our families are getting smaller because we're not focused on family. We're focused on making money. And most people want one or two kids, because we think about, oh, they're expensive. So we're only going to have one or two. And that's, for me, I have 3 kids. And, I would have had more, but, my wife almost lost my wife with the 3rd child. So we couldn't have no more because of that. But anyway, I don't mean to get off topic, but yeah, thank you for the $20 super chat. I appreciate it. And thank you for the love. And thank you guys for coming on and watching me. Thank you for your comments. And I really appreciate that. I really do. And but the bottom line is you need to do what's best for you. What makes you happy? What do you want in life? And the white man ain't such a bad option a lot of times. We're not. We're actually good people if you get to know us. We're not all racist. We're not all running around saying racial slurs. And and beyond popular belief, some people think we like to use the N word. No, we don't. I don't. I haven't been raised that way. That's something I don't want no part of. That's, and I know black people use it as slang and they can do that. But oh, thanks Nadia Bailey for the super chat. Thank you guys. You guys don't have to give me super chats. I appreciate it though. That is sweet. Thank you. I love love. Yeah, and that's what it's all about is love. How do we fix problems? A lot of times is love, right? Coming together, loving each other, getting to know each other. My marriage has lasted as long as it does because me and my wife love each other. We got to know each other. She's black and I'm white, but oh well, we love each other. And you know what? I found love from black women. I've always loved black women. I always thought they were amazing. The character they have is beautiful. You know, black women are so loving, and when they love you, you know it. They always got your back. And black women are just amazing to be around. I love being around black women. E- I love being around them that are my friends that I could. It seems like they're for me easier to talk to. I don't know. It's amazing. But thank you guys for the super chats. I do appreciate it. And thanks for showing me the love. And and the stuff I speak about is truth. This is stuff I lived. I'm 53 now, and I started dating when I was 16. And I seen the beauty of black women when I was 5. You guys have heard my story. It's true. And it never mattered. It didn't matter if how many black women wanted to date me or be with me, and it didn't matter if most of them didn't. I was going to find that one that did. I was going to find that one that loves me. I was going to find that one that thinks I'm awesome because I knew she was always out there. But yeah. But thank you so much. Thank you, minding my business. That was sweet and beautiful. Thank you. And thank you, Nadia Bailey. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Um, you know, but that's my thing. And no matter what these trolls tell me or what people have told me my whole life when I interracially dated, you know what? It's worth going through it. To be with the black woman, it's worth all that and then some. I would choose the same path a million times over because I see the true beauty and this true value in black women. I do. And if you look at my life, it reflects it. It does. And people get mad at me for saying that. Why? What's it matter if I say I love somebody? Is it a bad thing for me to say I think black women are amazing and I have big love for them? What's wrong with that? Oh, but I'm a white guy. I'm not supposed to think that way. I'm not supposed to say it. Or wait, I'm doing it for views, right? I I I bet if thing of it is if I showed hate towards black women and showed videos making fun of them, my channel would probably be 3 times as big. And you say, well, white guys can't do that. Well, I've seen channels where they've embraced white guys and lifted them up like they're heroes that went in on black women. I've seen it. I would never do that. That's not my thing. But it's funny that people say stuff like that, and their lives are just, they don't show nothing. They could say, well, you're pandering to black women, but I'm married to a black woman, have been for 28 years. So it's not that at all. I'm showing love I have for black women because black women have blessed me. And there needs to be more people that will speak up for black women. Can we have a balance here? I mean, seriously. And why people don't see the blessings I do is beyond me. I mean, I can look at stats, I can look at all kinds of things. I see amazing things black women do every day. And I see them doing it for loser guys like this Moreno dude that don't deserve them. But that's how black women are. They love hard. If they love you, they love you. And you know what? There's nothing they won't do for you. I'm serious. And black women don't need to do half the stuff they do. But they do it because they have a big heart. Because they have a lot of love. Black women have a lot of passion and emotions. Yes, because they have a big heart. And love is a big emotion. And when you love somebody and they're not doing you right, sometimes you get a little angry. Sometimes you get a little upset. Sometimes, sometimes you show that emotions and passion. And then people turn it around on black women and try to knock them for it. I tell you, from some of the stories black women have told me, if I was a black woman, I'd be so mad it wouldn't even be funny. But you know what? Us white men that go for black women, we're winning big. We really are. Because we're finding women that are successful in all areas when it comes to love, marriage, traditional, black women are amazing. That's why my marriage has lasted so long, because my wife's awesome, because she's amazing, because she's got a big heart. She loves me more than anything. And I seen that years ago. And what's stupid is people are so caught up in lust and pride, they don't see the truth. They don't see what's really out there. They don't see what black women really do. They don't. And I'm a white guy outside looking in, and I can see it. And it blows my mind. And then you have these dudes saying that white men don't like black women. Really? Oh, yes, we do love black women. But what this Moreno clown is doing, and these other trolls, some of these men ain't strong enough to deal with that. They'll go through the path of the least resistance. They'll get with Becky because it's easy. They'll get with Becky because everybody expects them to. And nothing against Becky. What I'm saying is they'll stay in that comfort zone because they don't have the strength. They don't have the will to do it. And those of us that do, we're reaping the rewards. We're getting the blessing. And that's what makes us the power couple, because we see how amazing and how awesome black women are. And marriage is an investment. It is. Because if you choose wrong, your life's going to be a disaster. Marriage is a true investment. That's the biggest investment of your life. And you know what? I invested in the black woman and I'm living good today. I have love. You know, I have a good family. My spirituality's good. I'm not perfect. I got to work on that. But I'm living a good life. I'm happy. Things are going good. Things are beautiful. And you know why? Because I made the right decisions. Because I seen the best option, and for me, it was a black woman, and I took that option. And my wife loves me with everything, and I love her with everything. And we're constantly putting each other first. And black women do this, and I've seen it over and over. And the ones that don't see it, they're stuck in lust, they're stuck in pride, they're stuck in all these other things, and not in the stuff that's important. They're not focused on the marriage, the family, their children. And the decisions you make today will not just affect you, the woman you're with, the children you have, but it will affect generations. Because your behavior, you're teaching it to your children, and they'll teach it to their children. Till someone along the way says, no, this is wrong, and stops it. And in today's world, where things are going to hell in a handbasket, we need to come together as men and women, and we need to truly love each other. Build those marriages, have that family, have the children. Do it the right way. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to swirl, do it, but swirl to investment. Don't use the swirl for an interracial hookup. People will do it because people use dating for a hookup. Some people swirl because they want to have sexual relationship with someone that's a different race. People do it. But I would say don't do it for that. Do it for marriage. If you love somebody that's different than you, that's great. That's awesome. That's amazing. But as long as you got true love, it's right. And that's the quiet part. They won't admit it. They think white women are easier to manipulate, abuse. Single motherhood is highest amongst black women and white men. Yeah. Well, I haven't looked at those stats, but it is pretty high. It is. Swirl to investment. Yeah. Some people think swirling's a bad word. It's not. It's interracial dating. Is it trendy? Yeah. It's exciting. It is. I'm not gonna lie. Being with someone that's a different racial group, that's different, it's something new. It's exciting, and nothing's wrong with that. As long as you got the right heart about it, as long as you're doing it the right way, as long as you're not doing it with lustful intentions, as long as you're doing it for love. But I swirled. I had to, but I swirled to investment, which is marriage. Biggest investment you'll make of your life. And you know what? It's the biggest investment for both men and women. It is. Women, even if you don't bring, any, how can I say that? Even if you don't bring um, income into it, you're still investing. It's still the biggest investment in your life because you're investing yourself in that person. You're investing your love, everything. You're telling that man that you're going to give him everything because you love him and you're going to be his wife. And he's telling you he's going to give you everything. He's going to love you with all his heart. He's going to be loyal and faithful to you. That's what we're supposed to do, right? You give everything. And you have to give everything to get everything. You can't come in a relationship and get with a woman and have her pay half the bills and expect her to give you everything. She can't. You have to hold up your part as a man. You got to provide. That's your job. Her job ain't making money to take care of you. No. That's your job. That's why God made men with more upper body strength. You know why? It's to protect the women you're with, and it's to work. Us as men, we're a working machine. We're designed that way. We're supposed to work. We're supposed to put in the labor. So we can make a living, so we can take care of our wives and family. And we got bigger muscle structure, so we can defend them too. Not to overpower them, to protect them. You know? But seriously, ladies, black women are the best option. I say it 1,000 times over. And you know what? Most of them didn't want to date me, but that's okay. Because I know the true value of a black woman, and I knew where the treasure was. I knew where the best option was. That hidden treasure I was focused on. I had my sights on the black woman. I had a mission in life to meet her, to marry her, to have a family with her. And I was so in love, I was motivated like that. I could get rejected 1,000 times over, and I still go for black women because I know the real value. And I'm blessed more than a lot of people because of the way I went about it. And I seen the true value. So why would I not praise black women? Look at my life. I've been married 28 years. I got a wife that loves me, will do anything for me. Along the way, black women have treated me awesome. Why wouldn't I give them praise? Why wouldn't I say good things? It's not a weakness, it's telling the truth. It's not pandering. It's giving them the love and respect they deserve. And that's the beauty of it, that I could see the truth, that I could see what's up, that I could see what a blessing I got. And a lot of these goofy men running around, they don't know what I'm talking about. They don't know what marriage is. They don't know what true love is. They don't know how valuable a good woman is. The Bible tells us. A good woman's worth her weight in gold. A virtuous woman's a treasure. The Bible says it. The Bible tells us that the woman's the prize. Think about it. Oh, you want me to drop the link, Corey? Yeah, maybe I dropped the link. I'm getting a little winded and getting a little passion here. But hello, I whip cream code. Yeah, fellow investors, we're investors. Ladies, you want the man that's going to invest in you because you're the treasure. You're the best investment. And both ways, you're investing. The woman is too, because if you choose the wrong man, you're going to have problems. It's going to be horrible. Choose the right guy. He takes care of you. He loves you with everything. He provides for you. Let me go ahead and drop the link here. Oh, wait, that's the wrong. I'll drop the link for a little bit. But anyway, I'm enjoying myself. I fractured my foot, but you know, I did get some time off. Not the way I want to get it off. I would rather not be injured than get time off. But you know, I my wife's taking care of me. She's cooking all the food I want, so I'm probably going to gain some weight, but that's okay. And but she loves taking care of me when I'm injured, so it's all good. Okay, there's the link if you want to come up. Now, if I don't know you and I don't bring you up, that uh yeah. But the link's there if you want to come up. Uh, all right. But seriously, guys, stand up for the person you love. And if you're in an interracial relationship, you have to. You have to stand up to your so-called friends, family. You know, don't ever let nobody take a shot at the woman you're with. Even if it isn't intentional, even if it looks like it could have meant something that's not right, don't let it happen. Okay. Hey, Afro Angelique, good to see you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're on
Yeah, how's it going?
tonight.
Huh?
You're on fire tonight. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
well, I'm just speaking the truth. You know, it's like, I look at this and people are mad because I show love to black women. And it's it's like why? And they'll say they don't care what I think, but why are you watching? Why are you commenting? It's bizarre. But
Because
you know,
people are haters.
they are. And they see I'm living a blessed life. So um
You got a fabulous wife, you have fabulous kids. They want your life, and so they're hating on you.
yeah. And and these trolls like that put that stuff out. To me, this is what I think they're doing. And chat, you can tell me if I'm wrong. When they use tactics like that with racism and stuff and sins of the past, what they're doing, in my opinion, is they're trying to shame me and the black woman so we don't get together so they can win by default. So
Mm.
they can win because she's black and he'll say, I am too, so I have access to you because we look alike. That's basically what I think's happening.
Well, they hate you because they can't beat you.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and
people, the thing about it is that hatred is so simple. It can be boiled down to people don't understand, and people hate what they don't understand.
yeah, and like this guy, his mind is probably shallow. He thinks because he's black that black women should be automatically his. And no, you gotta compete for to be in a relationship with a woman. You gotta show. Well, you should have to show as a man that you're the best option. You're supposed to come, for what you have to offer. You have a big heart. You have a job. You're successful. Women want that, and they should want that because you have to take care of them and the kids. Yeah, there's women that are make good money and they can do it by themselves. Yes, but as a man, you're supposed to do that. It's not her job. And
It's hard because you're trained to do everything,
mhm.
all while keeping your head up and keeping a positive spirit. And it's just like then you meet people that just try to drain you. So
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. It just,
Hmm.
yeah. Well, hello, pro white male.
I know what you guys are thinking. I'm here, but I'm going to be quiet.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
listening.
Hey, that was
Okay.
that was a great show tonight, huh? At Cerebral's channel.
You know what it is? I get mad and I get frustrated because I feel like Black women are still trying to explain themselves to these men. And
Yeah.
as you can see, they started being manipulative right away. And I just don't have the tolerance for that anymore. I just don't. And I just get mad because I don't understand. I don't see the point of why they're even having shows where you're talking to these men. There's no talking to them because all they're going to do is tell you that you're imagining things. I can't take that. I'm sorry. I just can't.
Yeah.
It's the thing about it is that we're giving too much attention to things that we should be ignoring.
Mm.
Because some people you're never going to change their mind. They're going to be who they're going to be, and I shouldn't let your ignorance mess with my vibe. I'm not going to let you make me angry because you stupid.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing though. You see, Black women want other groups of men to approach them, but when you're out here always trying to explain yourself to these men, what do you think that looks like? You continue to show your loyalty to men that gives you nothing.
Oh, check please. I am not showing. The thing.
Not you, not you, not
No, no,
you.
no,
I'm
no, no.
talking,
What I'm
yeah,
saying is that it's like, unfortunately, it feels like you have to have permission to go outside of our race. And the thing about it is that you don't need permission. You
right,
have to go where the love is. You have to go where it makes you happy. And unfortunately, a lot of people, you also have to reach a point in your life where you don't care what other people think because they're not paying your bills, they're not impacting your
right.
life. And so until you get to that point, you're always going to care about what other people think, and you have to stop caring about what other people think if they're not impacting your
Mhm.
life.
You know what? That's interesting but true because black women it seems like they gotta like get permission to date out, and it's like us as white guys, we gotta explain how we're not racist all the time, how we're it's like it's just silly. Like I don't know, it just
I mean, I feel like I feel like that's how what's happening. I feel like, and that affects all of us. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
And it's the truth. I have to come out here and I have to be very aggressive with, like I said, this is a lot more than me dating white men. This is so much more than that for me. So you know what I'm saying? It's a lot deeper than that. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm on a whole other different level. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why sometimes I'm quiet. But I just can't. When I see Black women, it's so pathetic to just, it's like they're trying to convince them and beg them or something. That's how I'm viewing it. I don't know if I'm looking at it wrong or not. It's like Black women don't understand. These men do not like you. And it's just mind boggling to me that they don't understand that. I don't get it, and
It's
it really
they
really
don't love
bothers
themselves.
me.
They don't love themselves. The thing about it is, in order for you to actually understand what love is, you have to love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, you can't see what love is. And because we have been there's like it took me a while to get it to that point, just because it's like every aspect of my life was about putting me down. So I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't pretty enough. I wasn't skinny enough. And it was just like you have people bombarding you, and then you have these images in the media of how you're supposed to be 36, 26, 36. and not everybody's going to be that. So you have to get to a point that says, unfortunately, like like that old SNL skit, I'm good enough. You have to
Oh
learn how to
yeah,
say that to yourself.
and
But you know what
people,
I don't, I'm sorry. You know what I don't understand about Black women is that black, I don't, they're so afraid of dating out, particularly white men. But do they understand how Black men are treating them?
Hmm.
I don't get that. Like
They don't
you understand it when it's a non-black person, but
they
it's
don't
like,
love
but it's the same.
themselves.
I don't get that. Like it's like they're not making the connection. It's like Black women collectively is not making the connection, and that pisses me off so much. It's like it
It's
just drives me crazy. It really does. It really does drive me crazy that
it's a
that
two
I just
it's a
can't.
two-prong attack, because one, they don't love themselves, and two, they don't know what love looks like. Because a lot of people don't know what love looks like, and they
Mhm.
turn to places that show some twisted toxic version of love, and then because you see this twisted toxic version of love, you think that's what that is, and that's not what love is.
Well, I feel like this. There has, I mean, biologically as a woman, it's like, it's like, it's that's where I'm starting to think maybe something is wrong with a lot of Black women because the womanhood is not, it's just not there.
Well,
That's what it is because for like I said, in if you study nature,
mhm.
okay, females do all the same thing and males do all the same thing regardless of species, okay, or race. So something is very wrong here that Black women are not acting in womanhood.
Because they can't. They're not allowed to. Because they have to be everything to everybody, and because they have to step up to the plate in ways other women haven't had to step up to the plate. And they have to do it on a regular basis. And society also expects them to do that. So they can't catch a break. And then, oh, you're not feminine enough. But what they don't understand, it takes another strong man to make a Black woman be in her feminine. And if you don't have a strong man, and all you got is surrounded by all this weakness, then you will never be in your feminine. You can be in your feminine, but it takes somebody strong enough to do it.
I think that's BS because if Black women know to go to other groups of men and have all these criterias and expect nothing from Black men, obviously that makes no sense. You expect this, that, and the other, and whatever, but now all of a sudden your standards change because of the race of the man.
No, my standards are the same if it's a Black man, a white man, a Puerto
Right, not
Rican
you.
man,
I'm
an
just
Asian
saying
man.
majority.
But that's the thing about it is that it comes down to, what if you don't love yourself, you cannot have these expectations, because you need to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, you will make exceptions and exceptions and exceptions. So it comes back down to, do you love yourself? Do you even know what
Right.
love is? So
Yep.
if you don't know what love is, then you don't know what to look for. You don't know what to expect. I expect certain things, and when I don't get those certain things, doesn't matter what color that person is, then bye. I ain't got time for you.
I,
And
I
most people are so willing. There's so many people that are so man hungry that they are willing to accept the okey doke. They're
yeah.
not willing to be alone. You have to be willing to be alone and know yourself, because if you can't stand yourself, nobody else is either.
Yeah. You know what? I think a lot of it's such a cultural thing that things are accepted. Um, I was watching I know you guys probably saw that documentary, The Vanishing Family or whatever. And
Mm,
they did a documentary on, in the inner city, these women that were getting pregnant and having children, and
Oh, I seen
the
that.
men, yeah, the men didn't have jobs. they were in trouble, in prison, in crime, and they weren't doing nothing. The woman had everything on their shoulders, and it's sad. And in that documentary, you had the young lady that had a child. Her mom was a single mother, and her grandmother was a single mother. 3 generations, and the grandmother's like, "Yeah, it's going to happen to you," and I'm like, "What the heck?" It just, but it's like accepted in certain community. It's accepted, so nobody's it. And I know poverty has a lot to do with it, but it just general. It's like a generational curse that people are making choices to put themselves in that, and it's not a racial thing. It's just bad choices,
Mm-hmm.
and people will label it as white supremacists put people there, but okay, it might have started it. I get it, but sooner or later, people got to pull themselves out. I don't
It's
know, but I think it's such a cultural thing, and
it's
I think
sad right
black,
now.
yeah, I think black women, and white men were doing good in our marriages because us as white men, and I don't speak for all of us, but in generally, marriage is still in our culture. We still, are taught that's what we do. When I was little, I knew I was going to get married one day because in my family, that's what we do. Now, our marriages, they suck. Let's be honest. Um, but we're finding that with black women, we're more successful with them. Why is that? And why are they more successful with us? We come from different cultures. We look different. But somehow we're a lot of times on the same wavelength, the same page. And I think people are missing that. They're not seeing the true blessing. They're not seeing what we got to offer each other when it comes to love and marriage. And the ones that are figuring it out are living their good life
Yeah.
for the most part.
A
Listen,
lot of
I know you're
people
trying.
think
I'm
lust
sorry.
is love.
Mhm.
So, and that's lust is definitely not love.
You know what? I
Yeah,
know Brent is trying to be nice or whatever, but listen, there is there I this is something I'm going to say. There is something in white men that make that that is very masculine in them. Okay, so when black women start to like they like to get married, they like challenges, it's their qualities. Okay, I'm not saying that all of them are perfect. Every group of men have their own set of issues because we're all human at the end of the day, but there is definitely something in these men that makes them superior, and it's their mentality. They have a very masculine way of dealing with things. But
Mhm.
I, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense or not to you,
Mhm.
or not.
I it does, and it goes down to choices and character.
Because listen, black men are all over the world, and it's the same thing here. Okay, so something is wrong here. Okay, okay. I mean, you can go to countries where there's white men. It's pretty much the same. Does that mean there's no issues? No. Does it mean that some men don't abuse women? I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm making a comparison. It's all about reward versus risk.
Yeah. Hey, AJ Metza, good to see you.
Hey,
Hi,
Jamila.
everybody. Hi.
Hey.
I'm
Hi,
really
how's
enjoying
it
the
going?
conversation. I think it's really good. So I wanted to hop on.
Oh
Um,
yeah, welcome.
yeah, no, I think everyone is like right on the money. I'll give a little personal story. So with me, I'm a black woman living in Canada. And yes, we're seeing the same things you guys are seeing in America when it comes to black men. And there was a time where we were talking about like provider mindset and things like that amongst my friends. And I was in a group of Black women. And, I was saying, a provider is, what's necessary, blah, 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 blah. And people were challenging me on it, saying like, but you have to build with someone, that kind of struggle love narrative. And then I had the same conversation with other women of color. They were Asian women, and we were talking about provider mindset. And they're like, there's no other way. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
it just goes to show you that there is a little bit of that, kind of what Brett was talking about before. Like sometimes it's acceptable or it's become that way. Not that it's right, but it's so common that now women are thinking, well, that's just the way relationships are. I remember there was a friend going through a struggle of situation, and she goes, well, relationships are just complicated. There's always going to be something. So I'm just going to have to deal with the mess. And I just thought, like, already that's so self-defeatist, as what Afro Angelique is saying,
Yeah, it's
well, I don't understand how Black women view Black men as strong and white men as not strong, or non-Black men as strong, because I don't get that.
That, you know what? Some people have never been exposed to some people haven't been outside of their block, and they don't understand anything that's outside of their block. Like I've met people that have never been out of their city, and another city is 2 blocks over, and they still won't go over just to stick their toe over, because they don't want to go they don't want to expand their horizons. And if all you ever see is what's in your block and what's on TV, and it's nothing but toxicity, and
Right.
you get these images that are not real, then that's all you know, and you're not curious enough to find out anything else other than what you see on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You know what? When they say stronger and stuff, here's the thing. Here's strength. True strength ain't coming from how physically you are as an individual. Strength comes from strategy, being strategic.
Mm-hmm.
Strength comes from a plan and executing it. Strength is not just the physical strength you have, because there are dumb, strong people you can defeat, and you can be weaker than them. You could look in history. You look at all over the world. You take like all these groups of people. You take like the Romans. Why were they so successful back in the day? It wasn't necessarily they were bigger and stronger. They just had better tactics. They had a better strategy. You guys have heard of the 300, right? Mm-hmm. Why were they so successful? 300 taking out like ungodly amounts of men, just destroying them, being vastly outnumbered and so victorious. Why? Was it because they were stronger? No. They had a strategy. They set up the phalanx, and it was so bad. It was so effective, and it's a true story. But they were successful because they had a strategy. They had a better strategy. They had a better plan. They executed it. It's the same thing with relationships, with marriages. Why do some marriages last and some don't? Why do some communities do wonderful and some not so good? It's because of strategy. It's choices people make. It ain't a racial thing. It's a character thing. And people are making better choices. They're going to have a better result. And that's where our mindset needs to be strategic. What's best for you? Because it affects your life. Marriage is the biggest investment you'll make in your life. You choose wrong, it's going to hurt you. You choose right, it's going to be awesome. Yeah. But we're not thinking that way. We're just thinking about hooking up. She's fine. We're caught up in lust. And we're not thinking about, okay, would she be a good wife and a good mom? I got it. She looks fine. I mean, you desire her. I get it. It's natural, but you got to think beyond that. You got to go deeper. You got to, be strategic. that's where success comes. That's where your true strength comes from. I'm more successful than men that are smarter than me, that are stronger than me, that are better looking, but I have a better strategy. I mean, and there are men that are more successful than me that have a better strategy than me. My point is being strategic is your strength,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to have a plan. You got to think strategic. If you don't, you're not going to be successful. Things ain't going to just happen for you. You got to make things happen. Um, and that's just the cold, hard truth. Some people are more privileged than others. I get it. It's just the way it is. But you still got to be strategic. You still got to fight to win.
Mm-hmm.
And if we were true men, we would be competing. And the ones, and if you weren't the best man for the job at the time, that's okay. You can learn, and next turn you'll be the one. You know what I mean? It's just strategic. And there's black women out there that are being strategic. They're opening up their options. They're looking for the best option. And they're looking beyond the race loyalty, beyond the community, beyond, they're looking for, okay, how do I have somebody that loves me? How do I have protection, a roof over my head, and a man that's going to work and provide for me and the kids? But we don't think that way. A lot of people, we don't. But anyway, I can go on all day about this.
Another
Choices, yeah.
another thing is that a lot of people don't really know what love is or what it looks like, and
Yeah.
they look to all these toxic examples on TV and movies, and then wonder why relationships are not working out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes beyond the physical
And I
because
think, oh, you go ahead. Sorry, Brent.
oh no, I'm just
Yeah.
going to say this. It goes beyond the physical.
Mm-hmm.
People will, make love with you physically and hate you. They do it all the time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Men and women both. So that's not love. That's a part of love, yes. But you got to love deeper than that. You got to love all the way around. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that I think now for this, I don't know what it is. Is it like it's not a new black woman, but this kind of evolving black woman? I think a lot of people now are reprioritizing things in men,
Mhm.
right? I remember
Yeah.
before it was a lot about appearance. Oh, I
Mhm.
can't date a guy like this. Oh, I can't date that. I think people are letting go of that, and now it is those kind of deeper relationships. And I was even talking to my mom about this, about being very marriage minded. And I said, it's one thing to get married, but it's another thing to stay married. So who can
Mm-hmm.
I stay married to? What are those longevity traits? That's what's more important than how hot he is or what car he drives or, that kind of stuff.
That's why you need your best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I said this, I'm sorry. I said this and I said this before. A man's character and the way he moves will tell you a lot.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And
So
his circle too.
you understand what I'm saying? And like I said this and I said this again. Physical attraction is completely. I might like a man physically, but that don't mean I like him. That doesn't mean I
Exactly.
like his character as a man. That doesn't mean I care about his life because I had sex with him. It doesn't mean any of that. And that might sound kind of cold, excuse me, but you have to be able to separate a fetish from a quality man. His quality as a man is more important than me than his race, his color, or whatever. Because if he has a bad character and he's showing you that he is dysfunctional,
Mm-hmm.
that's a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why it's probably better to get to know somebody on a friend level before you take it there.
Yeah. And you know what? That's a good point. And for us men too, if we want the good wife, good mother, you know, a lot of times it's not that super fine woman. And sometimes you gotta, weigh the options. Okay, she's super fine, but then again, she's not really, wouldn't be a good wife for mom, and she's really not that loyal. So why am I going to mess with her? Why would you have a supermodel in a relationship that ain't going to last, and someone that's, not as good looking but has character? I mean, yeah. I mean, it goes both ways. I mean, I remember that there were women back in the day that I wanted to date that were super fine. And I look back and I thank God they rejected me, because I seen how they turned out. How many marriages, how many relationships failed, and they're just miserable. So sometimes, and look, I mean, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but um, I mean, yeah, you gotta get the woman that's well rounded, not just that's awesome, fine, but then again, I mean, you gotta have some attraction, or else you're gonna be miserable there too. You know, especially in a marriage, because you're supposed to love each other more than anybody. You're supposed to come together as one. Um, and like I said, to get all, you have to give all, and that's in a relationship. Men and women that have it all have given it all. Those that come in, half-assed, excuse my language, or that's what they get out of it. Men that expect women to pay half, well, they're getting half. You can't.
Yeah, I had another one of those tonight.
Oh, did you?
Hmm.
That wanted you to bring half to the table?
Half, if not all.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
Did he say that, or like his actions showed that? Okay, enough said.
both.
I, I'm trying to be open, but I'm very old fashioned. So I just, is it too much to ask to have somebody that's a gentleman, that will open doors, that will walk on, the outside, that will have a good sense of humor, and not be all up in their head about who they are? I'm just
You know what? I think a lot of times men, where they lose is they try to build themselves up, and women just don't want to hear it. They want to be lifted up. They don't want to hear about how much money you make or what you're doing, this and that. Um, because successful women, they know what you do. They know if you're successful, they'll figure it out. You don't have to tell them how great of a job you do have and how much money you make. And that seems kind of weak anyway. You're focused on getting to know her. You should be. And when you're on a date, it needs to be about her and not you.
see.
And really don't go telling about yourself unless she asks. That's a mistake men make. It's like, oh, look at me, I do this and that. Let her
More,
find that out, because that
more
just sounds like
oftentimes,
you're really bragging.
more oftentimes than not, I just want to know if you have a job. I don't care what you're doing, as long as it's legal.
Okay, well, I work at Burger King. Will that work?
Look, is it paying your bills?
Yeah.
I can
Well,
try to motivate you into something better, but or if you don't have the information, try to give you the information to point you in the right direction. But if you're motivated to do that, and that's paying your bills, then we can work. I can work with you.
That's the problem with Black women. I mean, if this we're gonna work with you. That's why we're in the situation that we're in. There's no more working together. It's either you're either a man or you're not. You're either a provider or you're not. There's no more working together because you working with look what happened. Black women are working with black men, and look at what they did. They went and told everybody that you're a fucking evil woman. Excuse my language. Like,
Wow.
that has to stop. There's no more working because you're working with them, and look what it's costing you. We've been working with them, and look at what it costs us. I don't think black women should do that with any man. But if you're going to do that, I will take my chances with a non-black man before a black man. That's my opinion.
Someone in the chat here, I think it was J9 up thread. She says, the Barbara the Builder syndrome. So, Barbara, put down your tools. You're no longer doing that.
This whole thing, I'll work with you. No, there's no working. And if you are going to work with somebody, if you're going to do that, I would do that with a non-black man.
But
I'm just saying, if that's what she's going to do, if that's what black women are going to do it, I like I said, my expectation does not change because of a man race. I expect the same thing from every man. Okay. I'm not into any of that.
I'm gonna need y'all to back down off the Burger King thing because that's a joke.
I know, but I just gotta say that because I feel like a lot of black women continue to do that because it's still happening though.
No, yeah. I no, but what for me, it's not. That's a joke. I'll work with you. The thing about it is that if he has his own business and he needs or if he's at I would like for the person that I'm with to be financially stable, so he can be a provider or whatever. But I'm not going to be the one in the background, knocking him down. I'm going to be the one that's lifting him up because that's what I do.
Yeah. No, I think you guys are saying kind of essentially the same thing, but it's that the person has something to stand on when they meet you, right? Mm-hmm. And what has been happening in the past is some people, what they have already is shaky or they don't have much, right? And then the black woman feels, if I just invest in this guy, then, they're investing in the potential, but not really what's actual, right?
That's for your 20s.
Well, that's for never. That's for never now, I think.
Yeah, they're investing in an IOU. Yeah, I will do this for you. I'm going to get there. One day, you know what? We're going to be well off. We're going to have a big house. And one day I'll get that. That never comes along.
Yeah. I've actually heard the term future faking, right? And that's more like when people are, very manipulative narcissists. But sometimes they might say, as Brent said, paint a dream and a dream that never comes, right? And I've seen that in my own life with black women who, he just has to go back to school. Just this and this, a little bit more. And then it's like, actually the marriage ends. And then he enjoys that life with somebody else. But if she had met him when he was already at the level he was supposed to be or a level that's stable, they would have continued that life together instead, right? But she was there for the hard years and not necessarily reaping the benefits either, right?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. A man that's building and you're going to see him building, you're going to see it in real time. He might have a job that don't make much, but he gets a better job. You see him moving forward. You might see him getting a degree along the way.
Exactly.
And we're seeing a lot of black women doing this. They're moving up. You see them moving, strategically. You see them. I've seen black women doing this. I know two that were single mothers that are making six figures by themselves because they moved strategic, a little at a time, got a little bit better on, government assistance, and then use that to get a degree, and then got a job, an open level job that made decent money, not a lot, and then moved up, and then bam, they're just. And really, women shouldn't have to do that. Now, of course, we're proud of those women because they're doing amazing things, but that's not.
What the
If things were the way they're supposed to, the man would be providing for her. And if she wants to move up in the corporate world, she can, but she should have that choice, not be forced to do it. And they're
okay.
forced to because men are weak in this world today.
It's look, my thing is not I'm not gonna be in a relationship where we're tearing each other down. That's
Yeah.
not my MO. That's not where I want to be at. And when I say lift up, I'm not talking about to be your to motivate you into your next thing. It's like we have a conversation. Okay, well then let's have a conversation and we'll make this plan. Or babe, if he's come home and he's dejected, make him feel better. Make your favorite meal, whatever. But not. I'm not gonna be I'm not going to be like you're leaning on me all the time. It's we lean on each other. We do for each other. We uplift each other. It's not a um oh, I'm always waiting for the potential. No, the potential has already been achieved. You are where you need to be. But everybody doesn't have a great day every day.
Yeah.
So you need a soft place to land.
Yeah.
So if you're my man, then I'm your soft place to land. If you're my man, you're my soft place to land. Because if
Yeah.
you don't have a soft place to land, you're going to look for it elsewhere.
That's true, but I guess it's of course this is a collective thing, right? Like I think pro-white male leadership is also talking about this too, that this is not just one Black woman's story, this is many. But just to
Yeah.
say, like, make sure that it's worth it, because what happens is, Black women are trying to be the supportive partner, but it's not reciprocated, right? And then you find
Yeah.
yourself in that tough situation. So kind of like what you're saying, yes, you want to be that true partner, but to make sure that you're getting it as well. And when I say you, I mean like as a Black woman collective.
Yeah.
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 But
I mean,
the thing about it is that people reveal themselves. So before you go all in, you need to see if their words match their actions.
Yes.
You need to be the one. You need to be a private investigator. Make sure that you are putting your efforts into the right person. Because just because he has a flashy car or this nice watch or he dresses nice doesn't necessarily mean that he has money. It means that he knows how to spend money,
Yeah.
but he may not have any investments. He may not have a plan for the future. He's just living for right now. But you can find that out through conversations, and most people don't even take the time to have conversations.
You know what? I've seen men that have BMWs and new Mustangs and live in a crappy apartment. But a true strategic man would drive a piece of crap car and have a nice house.
Hmm.
right.
You know, and he's not flashy, but he has something of value. He has a home where the other guy's got a nice car. How far does that get you? You
Yeah,
might impress some women, I guess, and that's what
Well,
they want.
that
well,
makes
this
no
is the
sense to me
thing.
to have
I'm
a
sorry.
flashy car and you live in an apartment. That makes absolutely no sense to me.
Well,
It,
this is. I'm sorry to cut you off, but this is the thing, though, right? You guys are talking about this. Um, real men that are leaders that are planning for the future, they understand what to do with what to do with money and how to make it work.
yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And that's something that I've noticed with white men. You understand what I'm saying? They understand business, they understand leadership, they understand where to put things. Okay, we have nothing because these men do not know how to use money. They don't know how to use money. They don't it's just is what it is. Like I
Hmm.
said, it's all about qualities to me, because I hear, oh, you're dating for potential. Are Black women really dating for potential? I don't
No.
know. You're not dating for potential, because if another male, if we're if another if we're getting something from another group of men, and we don't reciprocate anything to them, I think that's so unfair. You don't even want to date these men. I think that's so unfair. So they're trying to cooperate with you. They're trying to give you some type of cooperation, and you don't give them any.
Yeah.
Black women do not give white men any cooperation. They just disrespect them. I
Yeah.
have to say that. And I'm not saying that they're all great or whatever, but at the end of the day, they do give us some cooperation.
If you're people are fear what they don't understand. And if a lot of people don't understand what it is to date outside of their race. And so if you don't understand it, your knee-jerk reaction is fear. Plus the fact, if you have generational people in your ear, like, don't you dare bring no white man home. Don't you dare bring this. You got people in your ear. You have to fight all that. And
Wait a
then
minute.
once
What
you do all
does
of
race have to do with survival? That makes no sense. Because if you're
it,
not even here, you're not going to even be able to experience racism. That
I
makes no sense
understand
to me.
that. I
Survival comes
understand that, but
before race.
you have to understand that for a long time that was the mindset, and there are other people that are not in that mindset anymore. But it's hard to get out of that mindset if that's all you heard all your life. You have to talk against it, and you have to convince yourself against it. And if you have people telling you, if you bring that person home, you are no longer in the family. And I know that that's not something that's heard of nowadays, but it has been known to happen. I was told that in my younger years that I bet not bring no white man home.
Mm.
So that's just what that is. And though, like, all of my family is like basically they're I'm the baby of like 35. There's like 50 years in between me and my oldest cousin. So if you have this mindset and you have and they were proud black people, and you marrying a black person, and it's just ingrained in you. Every aspect of your life is drilled into, you better bring a black man home. And that if you bring a white man home, you are no longer going to be in this family. And if you have people telling that to you majority of your life, it is hard to want to risk everything for one person when you can't be sure that they're not going to leave you either.
Well, that
So
makes
you
no
have
sense, because what family? There's no black family. So what family? There's no family and there's no community.
That
So
may be your experience, but that's not everybody's experience.
I mean, what we consider a family in the black community?
Well,
Really?
But that
some
that
Come
that
on.
may not
people,
that may
but
not
some
be your
people,
experience.
yeah, like some people may have tight knit black families, you know. But like I see what both of you are saying, because I've heard both sides of it. I think when I was growing up, it was definitely Afro Angelique's perspective that, like, date someone of your own group, blah blah blah, it'll be easier. It was like dating with the mindset of culture first, right? And
Hmm.
then what you're saying too, I can't see your name now. Is it pro white male leadership?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yes. Oh, thank you, Brent. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
easier to see. And then with your mindset, you're almost saying economics first. I think in my family, I saw a switch over where when I was younger, it was more for the culture. And then as I got older, now I'm in my 30s. Well, right now my parents are just like, just find someone, but
Yes. Everybody's in that mindset right now. Just find
yeah,
somebody. I don't
just
care.
find
They
someone.
can be purple. I don't care. Just find somebody.
Exactly. But now it's definitely like date for economics. And like my circle of friends, we're young professionals, we've started businesses, people are bought homes. you can't start from scratch with anybody because you are ahead of them. There's now a class divide. So now it really is going for economics. So I think different Black families, maybe, and also culture is a part of this too. Not all of us are African American, right? Some of us are from the Caribbean, some of us are from Africa. So
my parents are Jamaican. Yeah. Listen, let's not talk about the diaspora thing, because wherever Black men are, it's the same situation. There might be different degrees to Black male worship, but pretty much wherever there's Black men, there's Black women doing exactly the same thing.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's still that now dating for economics, right? Because as we are women acquiring more, right, your standards are changing. So I think for both of you, like I see like it's like two sides of the same coin. I think so. Yeah. But it's altering. I'm seeing that evolution. So now it's like it's not just marrying for love, is marrying for love and money. Love, you can have it all. Right. And now, regardless of race.
Yeah. I've opened it's taken a while, but I've opened my mind to the fact that, because it was just like, oh, I'll date any brown, but now it's anybody. It's anybody that treats me correctly and is on the right pathway. I'm giving you a shot. Shoot your shot. And then
for me,
we'll
I believe in getting the best leader that you can get.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. And
that may be a white man, that might be a Black man, that might be a Hispanic man, an Asian man. It doesn't really make a difference, because character is what matters, not the outside. As long as you're attracted to them, that's all that matters.
Okay. All right. So, So even though the data is saying that a particular group is better and they are better at leadership historically, you're still going to say, I'm trying to understand that.
Because what you're coming at is, this is, the data says this, the data says that. But the thing about it is that, just because this type of person may be on paper best for me, doesn't mean that that person is best for me. Because I've dated somebody on paper that should have been perfect for me. There was absolutely no chemistry.
So you're saying statistic doesn't matter?
Not necessarily. It's because attraction is an individual thing. So while on paper somebody could be perfect for me, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're perfect for me.
Okay.
Because that's like, you can meet somebody online. You guys are it seems like everything is good, and then you meet in person and it's like, no thanks.
Correct. But I'm still trying to understand how is Black women not attracted to men that they need?
I'm not attracted to all men. I'm not attracted to all Black men. I'm not attracted to all white men. Correct. Attraction is an individual thing. But don't tell me that statistically, because this works better, that I should be attracted to that.
But I think also not every Black woman has made that leap yet. Like pro white male leadership, I think you're very right. But I think for some people, they're still hanging on to culture first versus economics first, right? Which is different than.
So you're hanging on to a culture that's anti-Black woman. That's what you're telling me.
No,
not me specifically, but
there are some women out there that will. There are some women out there that are not looking out for their best interests. They just want to go with what they know. They don't want to step outside of the circle.
Yeah, I think the thing is, like, you in life, I don't know, I don't want to get too philosophical. I'm sure Brent wants to move on to a new topic, but almost like we're all walking down this road, and some people they're not where you are right now, right? They're still miles away. So we're all gonna graduate to get to there, but for some people they're still in that previous mindset. But other Black women have evolved.
Well, I will end it from there. I don't mean to turn this into you. You got, like I said, when you guys see that name, you know me. I'm all over YouTube. I speak. I'm on. Like I said, this is so much deeper than dating.
Yeah.
It's like I'm a black woman, and I see black women holding on, and it just disgusts me that they're holding on. What are you holding on to? I just cannot get that. You get you get a little cooperation from these men. You're getting something from these men,
But not
and
everybody
you
has that experience. Some
and
people
you
have
can't. I mean, when black women go for a job, who's hiring them? Where do you get your wealth from? Who do you call for protection? Who infrastructure are you benefiting off of? So I don't understand how you're getting some type of cooperation and but you're having a problem. I'm still not getting that, because like I said, there's some
everybody may not be having the same experience that you're having. We have to live in empathy, because some people have never really gone outside of their culture, and they haven't had to because they haven't had any bad experiences. But that's not everybody's experience. So it really depends on your experience. If you never had a bad experience with a certain group of people, then of course, why would you look elsewhere? But if you have, and it doesn't, what I've run into, it don't even matter what race the person is. It's about their character. So it's everybody has a different experience, and you have to take that into consideration, and you have to be empathetic, because not everybody has your same experience.
Okay, there we have it.
Okay, that I enjoy listening to you ladies talk. I'm just soaking this in. This is but I would say go for what's the best option for you. But statistics are important though. You got to look at that. That now, does that mean it will definitely be totally true to you? The statistics in your life? No, but um I don't know. You just have it's not all the way that way, but if you're looking at numbers and stuff, you know, logically it lead to a better situation. I mean,
Mhm.
but there's always an exception to the rule. Um, but yeah, that this was a good discussion, you guys. Um,
Yeah, thank you for having for having us on.
oh yeah,
Um,
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all you guys's um, all your perspective on this, and I think you ladies are going this. You're headed to the same place, I believe. Maybe
it's just
going
different
different
points of view.
paths
We're
to
going to the
this.
same place with different points of view, different sides of the
Yeah.
spectrum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that
I like that you said different sides of a spectrum. That's kind of what I meant on the road. Like some people are few miles down, some people are midway, some people are just beginning the journey, right?
Hmm.
yeah, but yeah, but yeah, I see your guys' points, and there it's But really, ladies, do what's best for you. What do you think's the best option? And you got to be strategic. Um, and really, and I believe this to be true. Um, you know, a man that's going build, he's going to have to do it on his own. A woman can't make him do it. She just can't. Um, she can be an influence, but he's got to get himself together. He's got to do it. It's like someone on drugs. You can give them all the advice. You can send them to, rehab and all this stuff. But if that person don't do it themselves, they're not going to get away from it. And that's the same thing with building. If they don't want to move up, it don't matter how much love you give them. It don't matter how much work you put into it. They're just not going to do it. Now there is exceptions to the rules. There are some men that will snap one day and say, you know what I'm doing is not working. This is making no sense. I need to do better, and they'll do better. But the majority are just caught in that rut, and they're just doing enough to get by.
Yep.
And some of these men are looking for women to help them through that, or even take care of them. Yeah.
Well,
Look,
I just need to
I can
finish
be the
this out.
inspiration,
Sorry.
but I can't be the reason.
Well, like I said, I am very pro white male leadership in all the ways because white men do not need anybody but himself. He can stand up on his own 2 feet. He doesn't take shit from any man. You ain't gonna remove him out of anywhere. That's a leader.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need somebody to tell him to build. He's going to build on his own because he knows as a man, that's what he's supposed to do. So am I wrong for that?
No, but I have also ran into white men that had absolutely do not have that attitude.
So and I'm not saying that they all do, but I'm talking as a collective group. You don't become the most powerful group of men in the world because collectively you're doing nothing. Come on.
Collectively, they were doing some evil shit, but that's besides the point. It's the thing about it is that you can't just say that one particular group is doing this and one particular group is doing that. For me, it's an individual thing because not all white people are bad, and not all black people are good. It's something you cannot classify something in a totality because there are always variants, and you can't have a totality. You can say in general, this is what my experience is. It may not necessarily be what your experience is, but this is my experience, and this is what I think it is. And if my experience is nowhere near your experience, then I have to come to a point where I have to try to see something from your point of view so I can get a better understanding of what it is that you're trying to say. I can't necessarily just,
I mean,
okay.
Listen, black women will give credentials to black men that they don't even have. So, listen, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, if they're gonna still go on a platform and still talk to these men, I listen. I don't know what I know. I don't know what to say about that. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not. I'm trying to figure out what am I seeing. I'm trying to figure out what am I seeing that I'm over exaggerating.
This is as far as like black women not dating out. There are a lot of different factors, but the thing is that you have to come to a realization in your life where you don't care about other people if you're going to date outside of your race. Because if you care about other people, what other people are going to say to you or what other people are going to think about you, then you're not strong enough to do it.
Yeah.
And that's just what that is. Because if
that's not what it is. Black women are still going to be loyal to black men. They are still connected to them, and that really bothers me.
Well, it's
one thing.
You know what?
It's very, very disturbing how black women can still be connected to these men and still have an emotional attachment. I don't understand that. As a black woman, I don't, because like I said, I'm a woman first before I'm a black woman.
I will say one thing though, for any idea, Like there's always going to be those people you will never convince. That's a pool of people. I'm for it. Even if it kills me, I'm doing it. Right? You will have those people who are kind of in the middle, kind of on the fence, kind of a swing vote, if you will. And then you'll have those people okay with that new idea. But I think for you, maybe just to consider that there will always be those Black women who are super loyal. And that's what they choose to do.
What are you being loyal to? I don't understand that. I'm
but it's not,
like I said, I know I sound like, listen, I'm trying to get it. I'm just trying to understand it, because like I said, I'm a Black woman too. I'm a Black woman too, but I don't get it.
I agree. But the thing is, we also have to understand there's always going to be those people who feel strongly, like as strongly as you feel about pro white male leadership is as strongly as some Black women feel about pro Black male leadership, that style of leadership. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, listen, what am I, listen, I mean, why can't I put the men first that I have to get my wealth from? Why is it okay for you to put men first that gives you absolutely nothing and expect something else from another male group? I think that's unfair. I don't like that. No, it doesn't work like that. No, you're not going to sit here, allow the men that gives birth to you to disrespect you and do nothing about it, and then expect something else from another male group. I'm no. I feel that if that's the way you feel, they should be taking care of you. That's how I feel. That is an ultimatum that white men should give Black women. That's how I feel at this point. If you're going to still be over there, then they shouldn't give you anything. That's what it is at this point.
Yeah,
you shouldn't get nothing.
I'm looking at the chat, and MW says, "Don't stress yourself worrying about the blind loyalty." And I agree with that. There's some people that just won't change. Just leave them. Worry about the people who are changing, or the people who have a similar mindset as you. That's it.
You know what I think? Pro white leadership. I think you're passionate on your beliefs and you're making points, but you can't change people.
Oh yeah.
Even if what they're doing don't make no sense, and you see it, you can't force them. People are going to do what they want to do, even if it's counterproductive. They're just going to do it. I mean,
but I mean, is that, do you feel as a white man that Black women are being fair? I don't feel like they're being fair. No. And I don't, and I feel as a Black woman, I need to say something about that.
In some ways,
I like Miracles is let's agree to disagree. Everyone's purpose and perspective in life is different, which is true. But Brent, Corey said to drop the link.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to drop it. Yeah, but some Black women are not fair. Yeah, I get that.
I just feel like it's so unfair. I don't like it. I don't like it. I got a little upset. I didn't like what they did with this whole Derek Chauvin situation. I don't like that. I don't believe you should be disrespectful to men that are giving you something when your men have made it very clear they're not giving you nothing. I don't like that. I just don't. It's disrespectful.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Corey. Hey, Corey, how's it going, brother?
How's everybody doing?
I'm fine.
We're having a good discussion here, but
yes, it is.
Yeah.
The chat, the panel, everybody's engaged.
Can you bring some levity, please?
How are you doing too?
All right, so this is something that we're going to have to agree to disagree on, just because it's never going to go. It's never going to go where you want it to go. There's so many positive things that we can be talking about, and this is not a positive thing. This is just something we're going in circles about.
Well, it's
I
We're
think a
never
lot of
we're
this.
never never going to agree, and we're always going to come back to the same points. So it's better just to move on to a different topic because it's not going to change. It's not going to change.
I think the biggest
You're
thing
right.
is
I just had
moving
to
on
express
from.
that because it just bothers me. That's all. And I feel
So
like, yeah,
you know
and
what?
I feel like it's not black women, it's not black women say anything about it, because when you see a collective group of women doing something, what do you think people are going to think? I mean, it is what it
Not
is.
all black,
Perception is everything.
not all
Well,
black
you know
women are
what?
going to divest. There are so many women that are going to stay loyal to their community, their race, their
No
ethnic
matter what.
background. It's a very small minority that's actually going to step outside that. You have to have courage to do that.
Yeah, we're a minority group. Most of us aren't. Most people are not going to open up their options,
No, they're not.
even if they see it as a best option, because they're afraid to jump out of that comfort zone. And you can't force people to. Even if you got stats and truth, some people are just going to stick with what's comfortable. People will choose a toxic relationship because they're comfortable with it.
Hello, everyone.
Hey,
Oh,
Maria.
Yes, this is
Oh,
Maria.
did she drop off?
I
Hi,
noticed
Maria.
it took a
Hi.
little time for StreamYard to load me when I was
Oh,
coming
did
in.
it? Yeah, sometimes she might have just. Well, the link's still up there.
Mhm.
Hey, Maria, good to have you on.
Yeah, it's my first time being on, so I kind of wanted to speak to. I don't know where she went, but
Oh,
I don't know it.
sometimes
Um,
StreamYard does just like,
She,
I
she's
didn't.
still
Drop
in the
people
off
chat.
off
too.
randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. I
Yeah.
didn't take her off, but she.
Yeah.
Oh, she
She
says
might have
I'm
dropped
here.
off, or StreamYard might have kicked her off. We don't know
Yeah.
because StreamYard is
She's in,
funky.
she's in the chat.
Oh,
I
she
see
says
her.
she's coming back, so that's
She's
perfect.
coming back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If she comes back, I don't mind hopping off, just so you don't have so many people on the panel, Brent.
Oh, okay. Well, I could take up to 10.
Okay.
I like
Plenty
the
of room.
discussion, but we're taking different paths to get there. Well,
Mhm.
and that's okay, ladies. Don't get you're not going. Most people will not date out. Most people will stay loyal. And black women, white men, we're the ones that stay in our community the most. It just is what it is. And but we're growing, of course. And we're finding love. We're having good marriages. So it's good things are happening. So embrace that and do what's best for you. Go for the best option. And
It takes courage to go against generations of,
yeah.
tradition. It takes a
Well,
lot of courage.
you know what? I didn't have nobody telling me I couldn't date out. No, but my parents didn't care if I did that. They just hoped I would find a good wife. But within my community and stuff, there were people saying, "What are you doing? You don't like white women? What's wrong with you? What are you doing?" Like they were confused that I was doing this, like I was someone out of the ordinary, some weirdo. No, I was going for who I was attracted to, who I thought was the best option. And then when I got married, it proved I made the best option. Now, is my story the same as everybody's? No. But the thing of it is most people will not open up their options, even no matter how bad it gets, because they're comfortable, and they're afraid, even though stats might say this way's better. They're going to do what they're going to want to do. But hey, anyway.
Brent, MW wants to know if this is more of a swirling channel or a divesting channel.
A what channel?
A swirling or a divestment channel. I think it's more of a divestment, but
Well, it's
Well, can it be both?
Interracial?
Yeah, it is. It's like swirl to divestment because I think that was like one of the first things I saw.
Well,
Swirl to divestment. Yeah, I agree with that.
to divestment. Well, it was investment, but there's a lot of women that are. You told me my channel. Okay, we're swirling to divest, but us as men can't. How can we divest? I guess we could, but for us, we're investing. Us as men, we invest in the black woman. That's what I've done. That's what. I guess in divestment, I would have to leave the white community to go to the black community, I guess.
Yeah,
Well,
divest really doesn't surmise. It doesn't really explain the whole thing.
I don't understand it totally. There's a lot of people on this channel that are divestors, and that's great. I'm not a divestor. I can't be. From the definition I heard, it's a channel of interracial relationships, dating, marriage, and yes, we have allies that are divestors and people that
so
swirl.
wouldn't the women be divestors and the men be investors?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Because if you're like aligning your life with that woman, your wealth, your time, your happiness, your leadership, as we've been talking about, all of that, that's investing, right?
Yeah.
In that future.
Well, yeah, the Bible says to cleave unto your wife. I don't think skin color actually came into the picture.
No,
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So the black women are divestors and the white men are investors. That's the way we're looking at this right now.
Kind of, sort of, but not all the women are divestors. Some are swirling, and some aren't doing either.
I'm an investor with swirling tendencies. How about that?
A swirling investor.
I'm going to play with this. You give me room, I'm going to have a lot of fun with this.
How about this? A divesting, swirling investor.
You can be anything you want. It's a customization.
Yeah.
Now I feel like they were talking about like financial products or something like that. We need to know the interest rate percentage and all of that. What's the amortization rate?
It is a product, but it's a product of the best kind, which is the best marriage.
Of course.
We're like a partnership. We're like two corporations coming together.
It's a merger and an acquisition.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, I think I'm going to step down for now. It's getting to 2, and Brent knows about me and my beauty sleep, right? So I'm going to have to step down. I think I'll continue in the chat for a little while longer, then I really will have to go to bed.
You know what? I gave up on beauty sleep. It's never helped me. I still stay up all night. So.
Okay. Well, this was a good conversation, and I'll carry on in the chat. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks for coming on.
Good night.
Yeah. I'll say this channel is an investment network. Let's go with that because, but yeah, we do have divestment and investment.
I still like the investor with swirling tendencies.
Yeah. But I say swirl to investment.
Mm-hmm.
And ladies, you're really, when you open up your options, whether you're divesting, you're also investing because you're giving something for that's best for you. You're investing your life because if you want to choose the right man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I am divesting. So.
Huh?
Said I'm divesting. So.
You divesting?
Yeah.
I'm investing. You know what? Hey, Michael Ray sent me a thing. He said he's down for the dating show.
Yes.
Awesome. Now we get 2 more guys in there, and we'll put it together, and that will be a fun show. And
It
then,
should be.
yeah, oh yeah, I've been wanting to do that. Um, but here's the thing: it's not. I can't send you on a date together. I don't have the resources or the legality to do that.
Brent, no one's
Yeah,
expecting you to hook them up on a date as much as we're just trying to find somebody.
yeah, and that's what it is. You guys do the actual hookup. The dating show is a fun thing we can do. Just just have fun together. Do something. Get to know where people are coming from and what they like. And if you think that person, you have a connection. I've seen people get to know each other through this channel that end up emailing each other. And there's been hookups through the channel. People, I mean,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, I've seen it
Anything
happen.
is possible. You just have to
Yeah.
have a positive attitude.
I just don't want to put the impression because you're on a dating show, you're actually going on a date. Because some people they'll send me an email say, yeah, I'm looking to date white men. I'll be on your show. Well, okay, I don't know how to take that. Like you want to have fun because you're thinking, or you think I'm going to make it happen for you in some way. I don't. I mean, just being on this panel, really, you can. Yeah, I mean, it's like networking.
Yes.
It's kind of like an internet, but be cautious, guys, because you don't know. They, till you know that person, they might seem great online, but seriously, be cautious. Um,
Yeah, there's
with
over 6,000 people that watch this channel.
6,000 people.
Well, you got a lot of subscribers.
Oh yeah, 6,000. Well, they don't all watch. God, I wish all the subscribers would watch at once. You know how many views I'd have? Oh my God.
I don't think they could, Brett.
I might be able to make this my actual job. Like that one person sent me that email. Your opinion on, or what they say, your opinion on black women is irrelevant. Get a real job. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
but I took that as a compliment because you're saying that you believe this is my real job, so I must be doing something right. You must think I'm pretty good at it to say that. I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, he's obviously scared of the outcome, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, I think that's why they're mad, because it does. My opinion does matter because they're triggered.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about me or what I think; it's about the message.
Mm-hmm.
See, and this is what I think people see in me and my life. They see me talking about black women, saying wonderful things, saying how much I love them, but then they look at me and see that my wife's black, been married over 28 years, and have a successful family, and they're saying, well, if this old guy can do it back then and make it successful as a millennial, they're probably thinking, yeah, and I'm much younger and better looking, so if he could do it, I darn sure could do it. No, I'm not trying to be funny, but that's what people. I think that's what people that hate the idea are thinking, and I think that's what's happening.
It's
People are you influence people every day. Every one of us do by our actions. People watch us, people observe us, people see what we're doing. And yes, they'll look and see if we're successful or not. And they're doing it on this channel. They're watching. There's influence here. People that have always wanted to do it, think about it. They might even get up the courage to approach that woman or that man. Well, ladies, you can approach men if you want to, but the guys should do it. But what I'm saying is, some people are thinking, man, and thinking about opening up their options, and some will because they got the idea. They're seeing something like, wait, Am I missing something here?
It might be that some women just need to have your channel to want to divest.
Maybe. I mean, there's a lot of divestment channels. I mean,
but your channel is unique in the fact that when you talk about Black women, you talk about Black women in an absolutely positive way. You never talk bad about Black women. You always uplift us. You never. You create a space of positivity and safety, and you can't find that on every channel.
Yeah. Well, and why wouldn't I be positive? That's who I fell in love with, seriously. And all my life, I've something about Black women. I've seen something amazing, something that's beautiful, something that's a blessing. And and I think it's something that's from God that's led me this way. I've been attracted to Black women. It led me to my wife. I believe there's a purpose. I believe people are going to open up their options here in the future. Numbers are already growing. They're going to, because we have to, if we're going, survive as a community. And when I say community, I'm not talking about racially segregated. I'm talking about in our country as a whole, where we live. And it don't matter if we look different. We're going to go for strategically to have the best option. And that's what I did. But anyway, I mean, and why wouldn't I lift up Black women? Black women have, like I said, they have blessed me in my life. They have.
Mm-hmm. And you're always positive, and you're Christ-centered. Like, there's an amalgamation of things that make your channel what it is, and I can only see good things for you, because when you know that you're going to go to a place where there's positivity and virtually no negativity, it draws you.
Yeah. Pro-white male leadership. Am I wrong for being committed to the men I need? No, you're not wrong at all.
No, you're not wrong for that. Definitely not.
That's strategic. You're doing what's best for you, and you should. Yeah, but yeah, why would I? And here's the thing, people. I don't know. My thing is with Black women. The thing of it is, I've been blessed by them, but a lot of the reason is my eyes were open. I seen good qualities they have, and I've clinged to it. Now, does that mean all Black women are wonderful and you're going to be successful? No. But in the collective, there's a lot of them that are doing amazing things. A lot of Black women are, showing they love the men they're with. They do almost everything for them. And they don't have to. It's like they're committed in the relationship. And I think it's, there's, but anyway, I could talk all night about that, but yeah.
So,
But
Maria,
yeah.
Yes. Just listening.
sorry,
I'm listening.
I got long-winded.
No, it's okay. I think whenever you're a positive person and just naturally flows, because that's what attract people to your channel, and the availability to be open to Black women and interracial marriages. I think that's a good thing. When you're a good person, it naturally people are naturally attracted to that.
Yeah.
Good people are good people.
And,
It's
and
just,
the
for me,
thing
as simple as that.
Yeah. And the thing of it is we can find true love interracially dating and marrying. And it's happening.
Yeah. I think once people start to become more character centered, it will be you'll see a lot more interracial dating
Yeah.
because people, oh, I have my type. Sometimes your type is toxic.
Amen.
Yeah.
So go outside of the box. Let somebody show you who they are so you can get a good idea of what you're dealing with. Because if you're saying, "Oh, I'm this, and this," but your actions show you are the exact opposite, that lets me know I need to leave you in the dust.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ooh,
I personally wouldn't like feel loyal to just one race because you don't know it, everybody's not the same. I mean, I've personally done that in my own life and um it didn't work out. So to me, there's availability for people when they are good people to you. Don't
Hmm.
limit yourself and, seclude yourself and be out to think one race is better than the other. Someone is better because they're of this group or not. No, you have to look at the person. Ultimately, it comes down to the person because um, if they're a bad person, they're a bad person. You don't make things what more than what they are. Um,
That's
yeah.
you
facts.
know,
Facts right
I,
there.
I I think it's just like it's a bad mindset because you narrow down your options and you're not looking in a wider lens. You're just looking straight forward and not seeing your peripheral. You're not seeing what's behind you or anything, and that can make you that can make you feel insane after a while.
Yeah.
Allow people to come into your view in a better way.
Hmm.
And I didn't really understand. I don't even feel comfortable saying her whole name, but I don't know, misleadership or whatever. But I didn't know her point because it just sounded like to me personally she was just out to see one way, but I don't know if she was open to examine other availabilities. So I was kind of confused on that. So I mean, sometimes when you're out to just know what you know and you're not ready for that.
Yeah. I think she's just passionate in what she wants to do.
Hmm.
And,
Hmm.
But
but,
I know
but
this channel. I'm sorry.
You all right?
Hmm.
Well, I liked I'm a straight shooter. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but not sorry because I just, sometimes you can't you can't just pussyfoot around it. You have to say what it is.
yeah.
I don't. I just like to be real, and I feel like it might be bold to say that, but not everything is gonna. I don't live through rose colored glasses.
Mm-mm.
And when I see something, I was like, okay, but are you out to be understood or to have everybody understand you in one way? You have to give other people options to see what their
I,
debate is, not
yeah. And
just out to be right.
I don't think it was
Yeah,
meant
you
to
have to be.
be forceful. I think
Hmm.
it's just passionate. And the thing of it is, you know, I think the goal, a lot of it's the same. And
Hmm.
here's my thing, and that's what makes discussions great because we get a different aspect, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And you hear what people's perspective is, and just take it in. Don't try not to get emotional with it. Um,
Mm-mm.
I know that's easier said than done. Um,
It
but
is.
I think it's like the same path but a different route. Does that make sense?
That's what
Yeah.
we were doing
Yeah.
all evening.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think it's just passion, so I wouldn't read too much into it. But it's a good discussion. A lot of good points, and
Yeah, Maria, I agree with you. You can't. Sometimes you just can't pussyfoot around it. You just have to say it straight out
Hmm.
because some people can't pick up on context clues.
Yeah. I mean, well,
So,
yes.
Break out
but
the crayons. It's okay. Break out
Sorry.
the crayons. It's all good.
um, because for me, like, I don't know. I'm a person that wants to see everybody's side because I feel like I can't have a full picture unless I can see it from everybody's side, and then I can make an informed decision.
Yeah.
So that's just where I'm at.
And you know what? When people are saying what's on their mind and they're being true, we're going to bump heads a little bit. It's
Mhm.
going to feel like, okay, gosh, you keep saying that, yeah, but that's speaking the truth. And you're speaking your truth, and somebody's going to speak theirs, and we might not see it the same way, but I mean, no harm in that as long as we're mature adults. You know, thing
Yeah.
of it is find the best option for you and go with it. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah. That's true.
that's it in a nutshell. I mean, but
And my truth is not your truth.
yeah,
So you have to keep in mind that everybody's experience is not the same.
no,
Mhm.
And if you take into consideration other people's experience and they share that with you, then you get to experience something from a different perspective that can change how you view the world. And if we're kind to one another and we try to see each other's point of view, this world would be a better place.
yeah,
Yeah. And I think Brent said it earlier today, in the live, just love one another. And my mom says that all the time. I mean, and I know when you're out to just want to be right, sometimes it's like, I don't want to love anybody. Everybody doesn't want, they don't deserve my
I'm in this
love.
space right
But,
now.
but it really is just that simple. Love everyone. And that's what God commands us to do, to love everyone,
Hmm.
So,
yeah,
I mean, and love doesn't mean I have to go up there and hug their neck like my grandpa would say before. I'm just going to be kind to everyone, and loving to me is just exactly that. I don't have to like you, but I mean I can love you.
mhm,
I don't have to like your
That-
actions, but I can love you, and I know how to love people from afar. I do it in my daily life a lot. You
yeah.
know,
yeah,
It's like
so
I love you dearly. I just don't like you right now.
yeah, and I'm sure sometimes they probably felt the same way about me, but you know, but I don't want to go through life knowing that I'm so angry or have this been built up animosity towards someone so much that they're controlling me by me feeling that much anger. This is just not healthy because I'm not hurting anyone but myself.
yeah,
We have to
and
learn how to forgive one another because
Hmm.
forgiveness is everything. Because when you don't forgive, it's like you are allowing the person that hurt you to rule your life. And it's like
Yeah,
you don't forgive. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
wow,
So you have to, and what people don't understand is that after you forgive somebody, whether they know you forgave them or not, you feel lighter.
Yeah, you do, and then you're not you're freeing yourself too. You're allowing yourself to be forgiven, forgive yourself, and forgive that person. Because you can be angry at yourself for not realizing some things ahead of time, or why did I
Mhm.
wait it this long, or why did I put up with this stuff for so long?
Now you're
Forgive
preaching.
yourself. Yeah, yeah, I've done it. I've
Yeah,
done it. Like,
it's
and
like
I'm
the
thinking because
hardest person to forgive is yourself sometimes.
yeah, I
exactly,
think I'm more critical of myself more than anybody else can be, so I know better. But in the long run, I'm like I said, just it's so much freeing not to have all that weight. I always compare it to literally carrying duffel bags full of rocks and not knowing that, like, why am I pulling this behind me? I don't need this. What
yeah,
am I doing? I look stupid walking through this like this life with those duffel bags on me. I'm not in training camp or anything. Come on.
Can't be a
So
bag lady no more.
yeah, let release those bags. So yeah,
Mm.
literally. But
yeah. Man, this was a good discussion tonight. I enjoyed tonight. Tonight was
mhm.
awesome.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
I
And
went.
you set it up with all that fire you were spewing this.
Oh man, I was. Well, I was going to come on earlier,
Hmm.
but Cerebral went live, and then I watched her, and then I got on the panel there, and we had a good discussion. And yeah, it was a good show, and then I came over and went live here, and it was just been a good discussion all around. A lot of passion, and white male leadership. She's got good points. She's passionate, guys. Don't and I think she wants this people to see what she's seeing. Um,
I there's some points that I do agree with her,
yeah,
but there are other points that I have to respectfully disagree. So
Hmm.
this
Yeah, you
is
can't let other people's actions rob you of your peace, especially if they don't live with you.
yeah,
You just,
that's
if they're not in your daily life, just let it go.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like it really is that simple.
Yeah.
There's no reason to carry that. I mean, the only thing, like I said, after Angelique, what you said, I would respectfully disagree that you should not, rather, go so hard on one particular group of people if you have product of that same people. If you have children from that same race, how are you going to raise those same children if you hate those people that you had those children by?
Mm-hmm.
That is you're inadvertently going to spew that in and over to your children that you're raising.
Yeah.
I can't sit here and say that I hate a certain group or race of people if I had children by that same man and produced those same kind of children. That's that. Then I would say basically I don't like them either. So
that's
I don't know if she has children or not. I really don't know or anything. Um, but I just can never conceive that. It just won't add up to me. Because at one point you loved them. And I was told by a wise person, don't ever hate on something that you once loved,
yeah,
because
and you know what?
you're really hating on yourself.
hmm
Yeah, and like those trolls that sent me those rude comments, I know they really love me, and they're cheering me on inside, and they take the time to write me a letter and watch the show, and
Hmm.
yeah, but yeah, you're right. I'm not supposed to hate those clowns either. I don't like what they do, but they're human beings. But does that mean I have to follow them? No. Does that mean I have to do what they do? No. Um, but I'm not going to be consumed in hate because you said I shouldn't be with black women, and like, who cares what you think?
Yeah, I think
I'm just,
they probably said that because sometimes people would just hit at the weak points because they want to detour you,
yeah.
make you self-conscious about something. They think you're weak-minded and you're
Mhm.
going to give up and just like, okay, well, oh, they're after me. They said something to me, it's hurt my feelings, and then I'm going to run away and stop my channel. Like
Yeah.
some people
And,
probably would do that, and you're not, and so they're like, okay, that didn't work. And then there's probably the haters that they don't have the courage to say what you're saying, and secretly they're jealous. They hate it because they don't have the
yeah.
courage to say it themselves.
Yeah.
Hey,
And
Brent.
yes.
MW said, I feel like some people are stuck on being politically correct, but it's whatever. MW, it's more of if you're in that fight mode, that
Hmm.
if it's consuming you, you could actually miss the person that you're supposed to be with in your life because they see it coming out of you.
Mm.
Yeah,
Letting it
yeah.
letting it go makes you approachable, but if you're always carrying it, it's actually gonna that energy shows up. It comes out. You can actually repel
Mhm.
somebody that you want to attract. It's not
Yeah,
just politically correct.
because at the end of the day, you're hating on a man. Aren't you wanting a man? No matter if he's
Mm,
the white man, another man is going to feel that.
Yeah.
And it ain't going to be about what color that man that's loving you at that moment is. He's going to feel that you're hating on another man. At
yep.
least
and
I would. I mean, if there's a man that I'm with that really couldn't stand something about a woman and he's going to constantly say it, after a while I'm like, okay, you're rubbing that off on me. You're trying to make me feel like I'm doing that. I'm not that person. Um, it would come
Sophia,
across
we're not
eventually.
we're not misjudging her. We just want to see her succeed.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't think it was hateful either. I don't.
mm-mm. I don't think it was
Yeah.
hateful. It was from a point of a lot of it was from a point of curiosity.
I
because
think I
it's
think I think she's strategic, and I think she's trying to. This is what I think. She's strategic, and she's trying to get other women to see what's going on and to move to the
Hmm.
best option. I think that's what's in her mind.
yeah,
I,
I don't think it was from a point of hate. It was just that I don't understand if you're in this community and these are the things that's going on, why are you still in this community? So
Well, you know, she could have just been venting too, because sometimes it does boil up at certain points.
yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
So
honestly,
we did
everybody needs to vent every once in a while just to get rid of
they
it.
they
yeah.
do, and we've had shows. Remember, Corey? We had some. We'd have a couple ladies vent about black women, and then other ladies would get upset about it, and then we'd be in a battle royal for a little bit.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah.
Yeah, that happens, and that's why you know, just try to understand it logically and look at it logically. Because when we get emotional, we're not thinking. We're just emotion. A lot of times we don't see what points are being made because we think someone's coming from a different point, and they might be, but just you
Well,
know,
the biggest thing is when you're venting, if you're in private, it's a lot safer than you're when you're on YouTube that's forever out here.
I know, right?
I
I
mean, this is a living catalog of emotions, feelings, mindset.
oh
Um,
God, yes,
some
it's
things,
Hmm.
some things you just don't want to stand on the street corner and vent because it's not productive. It's not, you know,
People probably think you're
I mean,
crazy though.
it's not wrong, but some things I believe should be kept behind doors with close friends, you know.
I think I'm gonna go to the mall tomorrow and just vent. I'm gonna tell
So
everybody, open,
you're gonna be the
look,
janitor. You got
people.
some keys. You're gonna go work on the ductwork. You're gonna vent.
I'm going to tell people, open up your options. What the heck are you doing?
Yeah, YouTube is a beast. It really
You
is.
think I would get hate if I went out in the mall and where people hang out and tell them, hey, you should open up your options. You should date out.
Brett, you know you keep saying that, but there's just not enough black ladies around my neighborhood yet.
Oh well, you can.
Corey, I
You know
keep
what?
telling you, you need to move east.
But I can't move.
Wait a minute. Corey, you say you live in Oregon?
Yes, I live in a small
I
town called Roseburg.
okay, well, I saw a documentary about why it was short. Um, there's not that many black people in Oregon. Like there's like not that many people at all. I mean, I
Mm.
wouldn't imagine. Okay, I'm thinking of black people. My mind would never go towards Oregon anyway, as being the most populated place. But
Mm.
you know, that was interesting saying that they're kind
Mhm.
of leaning towards this not a very fairly um, pro-black state. You know, they're not very
Well,
friendly in that
it's
manner.
we have a lot of Asian, a lot of Hispanic,
Hmm.
and it was funny because one day I was sitting at a stoplight and there was one black gentleman on one side of the road and they were both waiting at the crosswalk. And when the light changed, the one old guy, he said, "Oh, look out. Now there's two of us." I about fell over my steering wheel. I was laughing so hard. I mean, because the guy was genuinely animated. His character was awesome. I was cracking up so hard. But look out, there's good there. Now there's two of us. And I just busted a gut. They were both older than me, you know. When you get older, you don't care what people think. But it was
Yeah.
funny. It was
You
really
know,
Yeah.
you
funny.
know, you know what's funny, Court? Where I work, um, there's like hardly any black people at all. It's Hispanic or white, and it's like I mean, the population of black people is like almost nothing really. Where I work, it's and I was at work and there was this black lady and she was asking me directions and stuff and she looked at me. She says, "Are there any black people here?" And I looked at her and I said, "No, you're the only one." And I said, "It's amazing, and she was just laughing. I said, I said, nah, people are friendly here, but no, there ain't too many black people. There's not.
Hmm.
But it was just funny how she asked me that, and I was like, no. And then she just started laughing. But yeah,
Yeah, MW said Oregon is what is it, a sundown state? Sundown town? That's
Well, they
where
may have some sundown towns in Oregon, but
I'd never even heard that
what's
until
a
just recently.
sundown town?
a
Oh, it's
sundown town is where black people don't need to be in that town after sundown.
Okay, okay,
yeah.
all right.
Like I think there's a not too long ago, maybe a couple of years ago, in a town in Nevada, they still rung the bell historically because they were giving out the call that black people shouldn't be in that side of town after the sun goes down. And I
Oh,
think they
that's
try to
insane.
abolish the yeah, you can look it up. They try to abolish the that ringing of that bell because they still
Uh-huh.
did it to that day. And I don't know if they succeeded at it. I'm pretty sure they did, but I can't remember the town right now. But if you kind of
Wow,
Google it, you might find it.
That's
Yeah.
insane. I go to
that's
the
funny.
movie theater. There's a really nice black gentleman that takes care of the VIP
Uh,
because we have one theater,
Mhm.
one theater room that's just for adults because it's 21 and older because they serve beer and stuff. I
yeah.
go there because there's no kids, nobody on their cell phones and all that stuff. But he's a really nice guy, and I never see that guy. I mean, he's always polite, charming. He's good people, you know. But I don't know. I just wish there were more people here that were black, and for
Oh,
anything, any other reason, just to bring more diversity because I'm already related to people from Dominican, so it just I don't know. We've already
yeah.
got everybody else, and you know,
Mhm.
Hey, J9, thank you. I wish you a speedy recovery. Yeah,
Oh,
I think she's talking about my leg. You see what I did to my foot?
yeah,
what did
got
you
a
do to your?
Terminator boot.
I fractured my foot.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that
and
is
and
not fun.
no, it's a little bone in your foot, kind of by your arch, and I
Ouch.
fractured it. And the crazy thing is I fractured the same bone on the other foot a couple of years ago. So I
Wow.
got walking breaks. So I have to wear this boot. Uh, yeah, and it's man, it hurts. It was crazy because I rolled my ankle and I still worked through the day. It was a little sore. I didn't think nothing of it. I came home, I was in so much pain. I mean, my wife was just pouring icy hot on my foot, and I was just,
Hmm.
ah, man, and then I got up in the morning. I said, well, I'll tough it out and just go to work. And then, because I got Sunday off and, I could go see the doctor, see what's going on. I, I put on my shoe and I was screaming in pain.
Yeah.
Did they
Yeah.
tell you that you couldn't go back to work?
Yeah. Well, I could do light duty if I'm sitting in a chair, but I can't walk. And my
Hmm.
job's all physical labor. So I can't do my job till my foot heals. So they're going to have me do light duty. So
Did you injure your heel spur?
no, it's a bone on your foot by your arch, like up above. I
Uh,
forget
Oh,
the
okay.
name of that bone. It's like a little bone, but I fractured it on both feet, and I did it as I was rolling my ankle.
Mhm.
Um,
at least you didn't dislocate your ankle, because that is not fun.
Oh,
yeah,
that
no,
sounds
I didn't
painful.
do that. My foot's still in place. It just hurts and it's swollen. But I mean, gosh, I've had so many broken bones. It ain't even funny. It's just the army broke me down. That
Oh,
my body. I mean, I was in great shape my whole career, but I'm paying the price now, though. I mean, I got arthritis. I got broken bones that I've had. I have broken bones I never knew I had. It just when it healed, it's a little bit deformed, and there's just ways they can tell. But You
Yeah,
know,
I
we
mean,
were
'cause
just trained to
you could
deal with,
break toes and not
huh?
you could break toes and not realize that you did it.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Well, we would break toes, and you know, when the army brought combatives, I don't know if you know about that. It's like a
Mhm.
form of martial arts and grappling, and we go through that training, and it's pretty intense. I mean, I went through it. It's fun because you learn techniques how to you know, take on somebody that's, you know, stronger than you, weighs more than you. I mean, they'll teach you arm bars and all kinds of stuff. And
Cool.
I mean, it's fun, but I mean, you're actually going at each other like at 80%. You're actually fighting, but you're not. Does that make sense? I mean, you
Oh yeah.
kind of,
Hmm.
huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
I got 2 older brothers and 2 older cousins. Our moms are twins. So I like had 4 older brothers.
uh,
And all about it.
but but the thing of it is going through it because they had me, and the instructors were they put this guy that was bigger than me. He was like 6 something, you know, weighed twice as much, and he was just manhandling me left and right. And I was just like, why do you? Because they would have someone your same weight, so you know you. But this guy was just so much bigger, and he's just throwing me around, and I really didn't have a chance. And he would just, no, you're going to go, you keep going, keep going. I said, what? You just like to see me thrown around? He said, the technique. What techniques did I teach you? You know, and this one time we were going, and he had me, and I was on my back, and I was just trying to defend and I just grabbed his arm, and I got him like in a short arm bar, and I
Hmm.
had him. He had the tap, and I was just like the greatest feeling. And he said, see, I told you, technique, think.
So basically, Brent, what you're saying is you mastered the flying awe.
I just got an arm bar, and but I mean, I got beat up every other time, but that was that one time I won. Dang it, you tapped out on it. It might have been
Especially
one
if
out of 1,000, but I got you. No, but seriously, it's good training because it shows you um, what you're really capable of doing. Even though the odds are against you, you can win. You can come out victorious. You can. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I took a beating, but it proved the point. Um,
Yeah,
but
my
I mean,
cousin, he's like a head taller than me when we were kids.
uh,
He's a big man. He is. But he came up to me and he grabbed me by the shoulders. He thought he was just going to sit me down on the ground. That was his mistake. I held on to his shoulders and I sat down on the ground real fast and I pushed up on his crotch so hard, but I didn't let go of his shoulders. I pulled him back to the ground. He hit on his tailbone so hard. I
yeah,
just flipped him.
and,
He
and you
hit
know what
hard.
they would do? They would do with us too. They'd put on boxing gloves, right? And you would have to get them in a hold, um, and you'd have to grab them and then just stop them from punching you. And the
Mm.
thing of it is they would just, you know, kept hitting you, and you'd have to grab to get them to stop. And if they fell down, you'd have to go through it again. And it's like, but it was a learning experience. But yeah, I mean,
I had to learn
but,
strategy
but,
too, being a little
but
guy. Oof.
yeah, but going through that, I mean, I had a bloody nose, I had bruised ribs, and I've
Mm.
never broke ribs, but I have bruised, and that hurt like that
Oh
was
yeah.
painful. And I mean, we went through that training, and we had to, I mean, had to take a couple days to recover. I broke a little toe, and all they did is tape it together. There's nothing they can do to, I guess, because the bones are so small. But
Hmm.
we'd be on mats barefooted, and you know, they start you out easy, put all the gear and okay, go at each other. Hey, this is pretty. But then, you know, they'd have you go 80% and you're actually trying to, yeah. But I mean, if you're ever in a real life situation, that will pay off. You know, thank God I never had to be in a situation like that. But
Hmm.
anyway, I'm glad the Army went to that. The Army and Marine Corps, and some of these guys would compete. You know, some of them were professional in the MMA and stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know, some of these guys were really good. Um, you know, we just got the basics, but I mean, some of the guys would compete.
So Sandy's very well protected.
Yeah, well, yeah, she is. I mean, yeah, I mean, they'd have to take me out to get to her, literally.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yes, that was a big sigh.
yeah. Are we reaching the closing point? Man, we've been on 3 hours.
No, I'm looking at people talking about their injuries, and it keeps making me think about when I broke my leg.
Oh, yeah.
Because I dislocated my ankle and broke my leg.
Ouch.
Yeah, and I have a plate with 9 pins. So
You know what? A funny story, right? My son, he was at school and they were playing, I think baseball, and he slid and he put his arms down and he broke his like arm before the hand and he broke it cleanly, so it's like hanging.
Mm.
And we got a phone call. My wife was like hysterical. She's like, our son broke his arm, and you know how moms get their. And I didn't feel, I was scared too, but we got to the hospital, and this was an Army hospital, right? This is when I was in the Army, and he's a teenager and stuff, and they had to give him morphine to reset his arm, because what they had to do was come in and just pop it back in.
Oh.
And I was there with them. My wife couldn't take it. She had to leave. That's her baby, going through that. And he didn't feel it because they had him so hooked up on morphine. And they popped it in place, and when when it was done, he started recovering, but he was still loopy. And there was this Army nurse, right? And he was talking to her, and she was holding his hand, and he was like, it seemed like he was hitting her. It was funny. And he looked at her, are you going to hold my hand? she was attracted though. And then he was like, well, what's your rate? Dad, she outranks you. It was funny because he's usually quiet, but I mean, he was just opening up, telling you what he thought. And it was
The medicine.
Yeah, I was like, he was getting on this nurse. I'm like, son, what are you doing?
It made him bolder.
Yeah, he was bold. He was like, it was funny though. I mean, he didn't say nothing outrageous. He was just like, he wanted her to hold his hand, and like he was upset, needed comforting. I think he just wanted to hold her hand.
He got the courage.
Yeah, he got the courage. Yeah.
Yeah, Brett, when I was 8 years old, I still feel guilty about it. I was roughhousing with my brother, the middle one. I dislocated his leg at the hip. And then I thought he was teasing, so I grabbed it and pulled it back down and put it back in place. I had no idea.
Ooh.
Did you do it right?
He was making all kinds of noise.
Yes, because dislocation can be sometimes more painful than the break.
Yeah, he didn't like me much after that for a while.
I guess not.
What do you say? Hey, Corey, do that to me again. That was fun.
Well, me being the youngest, I was always getting tortured, but I think in a way it kind of desensitized me from the pain they felt.
You know what's funny is us as men are growing up as boys, right? You remember, with your friends, you beat the crap out of each other and you'd fight, and then next day you were buddies again. Um,
You see,
I
I
did
was
that
the
with all my
youngest.
cousins.
huh?
All my cousins would gang up on me, and so I learned how to fight.
Yeah, I got bigger. They don't do
Yeah.
that no more.
But I was fighting boys and girls, and they would plot on me
Mm.
to get because I was the oldest, so they would plot on me and set me up for stuff so they could all get me.
So that's how you became a ninja, huh?
Pretty much.
Ninja warrior.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
didn't
Learn how
do
to be
that to my older
strategic.
brother.
You got to be strategic when you're trying to fight all
Yeah,
5 people.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
what's funny is we're talking about investment. Um, I put that in the name of the channel, Roadrunner Investment Network, right? I get people that go in my comments and say, invest in cryptocurrency, in investment things. I'm like, that's not the investment I'm talking about. I'm talking
No.
about investing in the black woman, not cryptocurrency. No, it's just funny. They come in and say, "Yeah, you should invest in this." Like, okay,
Yeah,
that's not
those
what it's about.
currency trolls show up on a lot of channels.
Yeah, I think they see investment and think, "Oh, okay, I can hit up this channel." And I don't know, is cryptocurrency a good thing? Bitcoin and stuff?
No, the politicians
No.
are going after it now.
Oh, are they?
Oh yeah,
I guess there's money to be made there, but
There was.
there
Not
was.
anymore.
It's
It's
dropped a
over.
lot.
yeah, is
Yeah,
it?
it's over.
Well,
Yeah.
everything's dropping. Thanks to
But
the economic situation, I lost $3,000 in my portfolio.
wow. But
Yeah, I
but
mean,
like
I got a lot saved, but still,
that's a lot of money. But like they were talking about, oh, cryptocurrency is going to be immune from recession and everything that's going on in the normal economics, and they crashed just like everybody else.
yeah. I think the best thing is maybe gold or silver. But that fluctuates too. You can't. People think they can invest in gold; they're going to just constantly make money. No, you can still lose money with that. But
Hmm.
the thing of it is, gold always holds value. It's not going to go to nothing.
Well,
You're
Yeah.
still going to
right now, the best investment is real estate.
yeah. You know what? You know what's crazy is I bought my house, the house I live in now, about 3 years ago, and it's already increased 100,000. I can get 100 grand out of it right now,
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
just because of the economy and the cost of uh, labors and materials. I
Property
mean,
tax.
oh yeah. Well, funny thing about property tax, they're supposed to do it according to the value of your home, but here's the thing: when the market goes down, they don't, for some reason, they don't lower your property tax. It seems like they find a way to keep pushing it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and then if there's elementary schools or those are more likely to be built around housing developments
yeah,
than high schools. But and they have those bonds that have to be covered.
yeah. Well, the thing of it is the value where I live is good because we're in the new part of town. We're actually, it's like a suburb, but we're in a city, but it's like in the middle of nowhere. But it's growing. We got schools out here, the best pretty much in the state, really. So everybody's moving here, so it's driving the land value up. And then what's good is we got schools around. So when you have sex offenders and stuff, they can't live here. They got to be a certain. They can only be so close to a school. They don't want them around schools because there's children.
Yeah.
So it's
Hmm.
kind of like, you they're kind of pushed out. you know. And of course, they do that to protect children, but it makes your neighborhood safer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Michelle Hernandez says, my Bitcoin crashed, but I'm still not in the negative because I got kind of early. Yeah. I mean,
Well, the good thing about Bitcoin and crypto is that you can trade 24/7
Mhm.
versus the
oh, okay.
stock market. It is Monday through Friday.
So if you see
You
the
know,
market starting to tank a little bit, you can hurry up and sell off.
well, you can buy more when it goes down because
Yeah.
most people are trying to sell.
Yeah.
So, um,
Well, that's the trick though, is to buy in when everybody's selling off,
hmm
get at a good price, and
I think that's what. Well, actually, yeah. I think it was, what is it? But maybe 2 years ago, when GameStop was about to go out of business, and then all the game lovers went in some forum. I don't know if it was Reddit or what, but they were on some forum where they um they decided to all just started buying the stock, and
Hmm.
it put it back in business.
mm, that's pretty
And
cool though. That's
yeah.
and you know what? They were suffering because of COVID. It wasn't their fault,
hmm
and
Yeah, and
that's
they didn't want to see it go out of business, so they just all decided we're going to all buy on this one day when it dropped, and they did. Now they're still up and running.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I remember hearing something about that. Yeah.
Hey, Brent,
Mhm.
Yes.
GM in the chat. Funny thing is, I clicked on this channel for the first time thinking it was about investing money. It just so happened, I just so happened to be married to an Asian man. So I stayed to see what the conversation was
Oh,
about.
nice. Hey, welcome.
It
Hey,
tricked her in.
That's
yeah.
actually pretty cute.
Well, she invested in her Asian man, and she's living
That's,
the. So
that's
yeah. Hey,
awesome.
yeah, that's cool. That's
I
hey.
guess
Sometimes that happens.
that's a way to draw people in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I think I'll keep the investment there.
yeah, that
That's
works.
pretty
If
cool.
Yeah,
Investor with swirling tendencies.
that's right. With the divested mindset,
Hey, that works
we're,
too.
we're all in one.
Hmm.
yeah, divesting.
Because I don't know how to divest. Maybe I can. No,
You wouldn't be divesting though.
I wouldn't. It wouldn't make sense if I'm
No,
going by the definition.
no. By definition, it would be black women divesting.
Yeah, and white men
Hmm.
investing.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It'd take a lot of courage for a black woman to do that.
it. Yeah, I think it does. I mean, I
It
can't
really
speak for
does.
black women, but ladies, would you say it takes a lot of courage to open up your options, dealing with the shaming and all the stuff?
Depends on. You know what? It depends on where you are in your stage of life.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if
Because if you still care about what everybody thinks about you and what, then yeah, it's not going to work.
yeah,
Hmm.
If you're in the mindset of I got to do what's best for me, and you're
Hmm.
not paying any of my bills, you don't contribute anything in my life, so I don't care what you think,
yeah,
then you'll probably
hmm
be better off.
Unless you're just naturally that way already, you're just like that mindset. I've never really cared, and I'm just gonna go with and do my, you know, ride my own path. Then I probably didn't make much of a difference. So you'll just do what you want to do anyway.
Yeah, but I
Um,
mean, if it's like you can be like halfway there, but you have this like little piece of you that's like, I still care about what this particular person thinks, and that particular person could be very important to you.
uh,
But
mhm.
if um that's like my mom was all like, you better not bring anything home that can't you use your comb. And I'm like, whatever, mom.
Um,
And now she's just like, as long as you're happy, I don't care.
yeah.
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, you know what?
So
I think she was. It sounds like she was imposing her beliefs and wanted to make sure you honored those. But
Mhm.
after a while, it's like, as long as my child is happy, then I would understand her being loved properly. I think that's the most important thing, maybe in some sense, you know.
But
Mm.
my mom is funny because she was like, "So when you gonna give me some grandbabies?" And I was like, "So how many baby daddies do you want?" And she was like,
Ooh.
"I'm good."
Oh,
Yeah.
So she backed up off me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a way of making her not ask anymore.
Yeah,
yeah.
she stopped asking me after I said that.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Baby daddies are easy to acquire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
husbands are not, and I'd never want to go down that path without a husband. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be very, very hard. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, I've never had to deal with that, but after divorced, raising children by myself, but I couldn't imagine just not ever having that availability or ever been married and still having to do it on my own. I mean, I would probably cry every day. I wouldn't
Yeah.
do it.
That
It's too
that
hard.
that that would be tough. I try to look at that with like single mothers, like and people I people a lot of times try to pin it on women, like they should have chose better. Why were you with that guy? You should have. But the thing of it is, if she's in love with them, a lot of times she might be thinking he's going to marry her. They're going to be together, and it don't happen.
mhm.
And that's got to be the most. That's got to be an awful feeling because now you got kids to take
Hmm.
care of. You're alone. And like that documentary I was talking about, that one lady was like, that guy was like messing around with different women, had kids all over, but she would let him in. And it was like, and one guy was talking about that. He says, yeah, these women do that because, the human aspect, you want someone close to you. Even if they're not productive, even if they're not doing anything right, I guess just that human connection. Or you felt love for that moment. I think a lot of people are caught up in that, and
Yeah.
it's sad because that's not true love. You're being taken advantage of, but you do it because you want that person there.
I think maybe that also has they have a limited mindset too as well,
Yeah,
because if you if that person had a better discernment, in my opinion, then they could
Mhm.
probably have read that guy's energy in some ways
yeah,
that he was not feeling her all the way. You got to use common sense and discernment to know that maybe he's probably not the best for me, because if he's not making all the right moves, I've been with this person 6+ months. um what are we doing this for, unless she just didn't want to be married, or I
well,
hear a lot of
no,
women now online saying that they don't want to be married, and they're like, I don't have to be married to him, I can have a child with him. I'm like, well, okay, well, that's you.
it,
That
we,
that that's that. But I think a lot of that also is that some people don't love themselves and they don't know how to love themselves
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because there are certain things that you will not accept when you love yourself.
yeah.
You know
Yeah.
that you know
Mm.
your worth is means that I am. These are things that are non-negotiable.
Well,
Mhm.
that and I think I think a lot of these women that say they don't want to get married, I think a lot of them do. I think it's a defense mechanism because they feel like there's no one out there that wants to marry them, which ain't true. They just got with the wrong guy, and it
There,
ended up bad.
there's a
Uh,
lid for every pot. It's just a matter of whether or not you're. And then people have a tendency to stay with people they know they don't have no business staying with.
yeah,
And when their person comes along, they're involved with somebody else and they miss out.
yeah,
So sometimes it's just better to be single.
yeah, and
Or they could have had to seen their parents had a bad relationship, or they're thinking, I'm never going to, if I get married, it's going to be like that. And I don't want to feel stuck with someone. Maybe that's what they think. I don't know, but I just, I
There's
can't,
that.
I've never thought that. So I've always known I would want to be married. So my mindset never has been, oh, I would want to do this by myself. Never, ever.
No, no. I've
So
no,
always
it's hard for me to see it that side, but I just, I could listen and try to understand it, but I don't, I I don't know. I just don't
I
think it wouldn't work for me.
I've always wanted to be married, but I knew what I could and could not accept. And so,
Mhm.
but I've also had some bad relationships. So I know that I did not want to bring my foolishness and create another situation with somebody else. So I
Yeah.
had to make sure that I was healed first.
A miracle happens. I saw that documentary. I think it was from the 70s, something like that.
I
Well,
thought it
the
was the
one I
80s.
was talking about was, yeah, it was 86, The Vanishing
Yeah.
Family. Yeah, because that was a year before my wife graduated. Because she graduated in 87. So me and my wife were teenagers then. 'Cause I I think I was like 17 in 86.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because my first girlfriend I was 16 in 85. Yeah. So that was um yeah. But it's around that area. We're in high school in that time. Um yeah, but that's what it was from is 1986, and they were documenting these people in the inner city, and I mean these women were it was crazy. Have you seen the documentary? But I mean these women were having children, not married, and the guys were just not doing nothing, and they would get like well, back in the day, the way they did welfare is the mailman would bring your, I guess, welfare check and your stamps. It wasn't all automated. So they'd be like huddled around when they'd get their mail, and there would be these guys hanging around these women. I don't know. It just seemed like, yeah,
Really, it's 3 o'clock here, so
Yes, 2 here.
it's only 12 where Corey's at.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm
1
about to
o'clock.
turn into a pumpkin.
Yeah, you know what? We need to close down. It's getting late. We've been on 3 hours and 26 minutes.
yeah, we have a tendency to make it a little long when there's a good conversation.
Yeah, we do. I mean,
I love Brent's opening statement. I'm going to put the link up for a little bit.
I think I
Oh,
kind of
he
forgot about
always
that.
does that. He's like, I'm just gonna be on for a little bit, and then like 3 hours later.
I know, and that's what I was thinking, right? Well, because I was going to lay down, elevate my leg, and just
Oh yeah, well,
I'm still going to
Question:
do that. It's just going to
are,
be later or earlier in the morning.
Already early morning.
look, now that you have to have limited duty, does that mean that you're gonna be doing more lives while you're
um,
putting?
probably so. It'll be earlier lives, because I really don't like going too late. I mean, I do because I have no choice sometimes. Um, I was going go earlier tonight, but Cerebral went on, and I got interested in that, and that was a good show. And then I came on after that. Yeah, it was.
you might have to get you a step stool to put your foot up on under your desk.
Yeah, I might do that because it feels good when I elevate it
Mhm.
and I put that icy hot. Oh man, that gave me some relief last night. Last night I was in. Oh
Hey, Brent,
yeah.
I got a really good suggestion.
What's that?
You need to legally become the person who can officiate a wedding.
Yes, because if
And
you
then
if
I
you
think it's
have
like an
anybody
online thing.
that
Officiate.
meets on your chat, you can marry them.
Marry him through the chat.
No,
no.
marry them at their ceremony because you're going to be invited anyway.
Oh, became yeah.
Because if you're the catalyst for two people getting together, they're going to want you at their wedding.
Oh
And
yeah.
you can
How
video it
much more
and play
special
it
would it
back.
be if you actually performed the wedding?
Yeah, on video
Oh,
for
so
the
you want
show.
me to become a ordained minister and do a wedding?
You can be ordained through the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably.
That's so weird.
Okay, we're going to start the marriage show tonight, and we got Brad and Keisha. They decided to tie the knot through the channel. Right?
They wouldn't need to go to Vegas.
Like
Didn't mean
it's
to put
nice
you on
over
the
here.
spot like that.
No.
I just think it would be really cool.
Oh, I could like fly out because I know, we have two getting married, and as soon as I get the invite, I'm down there. I got time set off work to do this. Yeah.
That would look, and I think most of the chat would agree with us that would be a good idea.
Hey, have you
Yeah,
seen
I
the
will.
chat? It's blowing up over here.
Yeah.
Certified.
Everybody wants you to get certified.
Yep. If everybody wants Brett to officiate weddings legally, put a 1 in the chat.
I think this is like the bad ideas after midnight.
Yeah.
Delusional talk. That's it.
Brett, look at your chat room.
Look at all the ones.
Okay. All right.
Hey, he might see doubles because if you're taking any medicine for your leg, he might not be seeing ones.
Yeah.
Come on, put a 1 in the chat.
Oh wow! Right, they're coming up.
Yeah, they are.
See?
Okay.
You have more influence than you think you do.
Okay. So now I gotta marry people. Okay.
I don't think he wants to do it.
Now, Brett, tell me something. How cool would it be? You have your own show. You've been married for almost 30 years, and you're officiating the wedding. Your wife is standing there, you're standing there, and you're marrying 2 people that look like you.
Especially if they met on your channel.
Oh man, that would be an awesome thing. I ain't going to lie, it would, but God, I'd have to alter my life to do it though.
People from around all over the country could actually fly to your state. You could marry them, and then they could just continue on to their honeymoon.
They would have to because I can't afford to fly all over the place.
Oh no! We'll come to you. We'll come to you.
We'll come to you. It's all good.
Yeah.
Hey, you come to me. You say this is all desert.
It's okay as long as you're headed someplace tropical.
They'll just go up there to the Sandia Mountains in Santa Fe. You can go there. They have a beautiful
or the
chapel.
White Sands.
Oh yeah,
that's a little bit south.
Oh wow, yeah, the White Sands.
You know what? I spend a lot of time at White Sands. I go there about 2 or 3 times a year. I usually go in the fall or the spring because it gets hot down there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's neat down there. The Sandia Mountains. Now I go there. Well, I live so close to them. I go there a lot. I'm thinking about doing a video here, maybe in a couple weeks, going up to the tramway and do video on that. I think that would be nice. And well, I did one in White Sands. I did. Yeah. I don't know. I think I want to. Oh yeah, I was on a path. You heard me say that.
Mm-hmm. You said it a couple times.
I was. No, seriously, I probably would have been doing it, but like I said, I slipped into that sin, and people asked me what was that sin, and I tell you, I lived with a woman that wasn't my wife, and that's unacceptable. And I thought in my mind that I loved her and we could fix it. No, that didn't happen.
But Brent, you totally changed your life around, and if that's something you truly feel a calling to,
yeah,
you might. It's never too late to take that pathway.
Yeah, it's never too late. And my wife's cousin always say, "Okay, I see what you're doing on YouTube, but when are you going to preach on there? And when are you going to come to the church?" And You know,
You can,
he's like it
well,
encouraging.
you
He
ask him.
yeah he's like encouraging me in a loving, forceful type of way.
Okay, well, I know I started something, but I'm going to drop off of here so you can attempt to close this down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah, I have a tendency to drag you on when I shouldn't. So I'm gonna drop off. Thank you. I hope you feel better, and I thank you for your channel and all that you do to encourage Black women. Okay.
Oh, thank you so much. And you guys are a blessing to me. You uplift me. You say I uplift you. You really uplift me. You do, and I mean that. And you know, this is the job I always wanted that I can only have part time.
Well, Brent, thank you for having me up. Maria, it
Yeah.
was a pleasure
Oh
enjoying
yeah,
you on the panel tonight.
yeah.
Okay.
Thanks,
Nice to be
Corey.
here, and thanks for having me on as well. And good night. Don't forget to take some medicine for your foot as well. So,
Oh yeah, and thanks, Maria, for coming on. Good talking to you,
no
Corey, as
problem. Good night.
always.
Good night, guys.
Good
Good
night,
night.
and Jay Minsa and Afro Angelique and White Man Leadership. I think did I say that right? Um, pro white male leadership. Sorry, I got tongue twisted. Good having you on. It was a pleasure. Um, but it's good to see all of you. And you have a good night. God bless you and your families. And tomorrow I'll be going on. I'll be doing a prayer meeting sometime tomorrow. Um, you know, I'll read some Bible scripture and stuff. If you want to join me on that, you're welcome to. Um, you know, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what time yet. I got a lot to do and stuff, but it won't be too late. I promise. And but yeah, I had a good night. Oh, thank you so much. I love you guys too. You guys are awesome. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Had a good time tonight. This was a blast. And I always enjoy talking to you guys, and I always enjoy these panels. They're fun. We get, we learn a lot, and it's been awesome. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. God bless you and your families. Have a good night. Be safe. Don't break your foot like I did. But anyway, have a good night. God bless you and your families, and I'll see you tomorrow sometime.